Okay, hi there boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Here we are for Team Big Scrims event, the grand final this evening. So the top 8 qualifiers from groups A and B from last Thursday going head to head in 4 games this evening for the prize pool prize pool of €100. It's going to be split between the winners, which has been supported by the generous boys and girls over at Red Bull, who are the event's sponsors for the evening. I'm going to be joined as usual by my good buddy DH Jammy. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you good?
Yeah, we're all good. Looking forward to some excellent gameplay as always.
Absolutely. Looking forward to is in the first round of games, we learned some of the tactics of some of the teams over the 4 matches. We saw who was strong, but what we've got now, we've got the final, and we've also got another 8 teams from the other lobby that we haven't seen yet.
So yeah, should be very, very interesting. I believe our first map this evening is Vikendi, isn't it, Jammy?
It is. I know it's one of your personal favourites to play on, and it's a great one to stream on as well because, Vikendi, we tend to get some crazy flight lines and we get that crazy first zone 9 times out of 10.
Yep, should be a very interesting one. Now, it was interesting, certainly in the lobby that we covered the other night. A lot of people playing it very cagey in game number 1. Didn't want to commit, didn't necessarily want to push. Obviously, this is a points-based event, so we'll see if that happens tonight, or if people actually, they're in the final, they want to win, so they're going to have to push from the beginning. I think we might get a little bit of both. We shall see. Always going to be interesting.
Absolutely. It's a difficult toss-up between being, at this level, you've got to be aggressive when you're up against a team. You can't sit back. You've got to take the fight. But equally, not only is it a scrim, but of course there's a prize pool as well. And so these guys don't want to miss out on that by getting too aggressive too early. They've got to time it right and they've got to play it right. So we may see teams being a little cagey, certainly to start with. I mean, Vikendi was, as you say, in the last one, in the qualifying scrim. Vikendi particularly, as it's the first match, people were just sussing each other out. They took shots when they could, but they were reluctant to push when they got a knock.
Yeah, it changed soon afterwards, and in fact, game number 4 last week was ridiculously exciting. It just didn't stop from start to finish. So we shall be interesting to see how the games evolve over the course of the next few hours. Glad to see we've already got a few people watching the live stream. By all means, boys and girls, get active in the chat. We always love to see that. I don't think we're too far away from starting now.
Perfect timing. You should do this professionally.
I really should,
So yeah, please, all those that are watching, we love the fact that you're here watching. Throw in some comments in the chat. If we can reply, then we will. If you've got any questions, just ask, and we'll do our best. We've got to know a few of the teams, but we've only seen them over 4 matches, and the other half of the lobby we've never seen before. Now, just for a bit of context, what we've got is we have got the winners from Group A, which is the group that we covered on Thursday. That's Team 3, Why Not? And they're from Iran. And then we have the winners of the Group B lobby, which is the one we didn't cover on Thursday. And they are Empire of Lithuania, EOL, and they're from Lithuania.
We've got
teams from Lithuania, Russia, from all over Europe, mainly sort of Eastern Europe area.
Okay, here we go, boys and girls. Game number 1 on Vikendi, and there is our flight path. So basically, east to west, straight over the centre of the island, over Castle, over Tovar, ending up in Vihar. So Abbey certainly in range, Villa certainly in range, Mount Kreshnek certainly in range. So going to be interesting to see what kind of spread we get here, Jamie.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's slightly southern, so the very northern edge of the map won't be quite in reach. People might want to rotate there. What we have seen in these scrims is people are reluctant to go to the traditional hot drops. So on Vikendi, of course, it's Villa. people just didn't drop there. People were spreading out, they were getting the loot, and of course we're on 2 times weapons here. So when you find loot, there's generally a decent amount of weapons to find.
No, it doesn't look like we've got anybody heading towards the villa at the moment. We've got a bit of a spread, north and south. A few teams are actually quite close to each other, though. That's interesting. So we might have teams landing pretty close to each other.
Yep, and it'd be good to, I mean, we see the teams heading up towards the northwest there. We've got, what, 3 teams almost on top of each other there. We've got 2 landing just around Volnova. Team at Hot Springs.
Yep, look at that. There's our first zone, Jamie, and it doesn't
absolutely
disappoint, does it? 3/4 of the map taken out straight away.
A southern flight line and a northeastern zone with a third of that being coastline. That's brilliant. It forces people to make decisions about rotations, and it just adds that extra bit of pressure.
Okay, so here we are, boys and girls. We've got the squad from team number 13. No, that's. I think we've had some. No, we've had some changes on the roster that I was sent. This is right. This is S2. This is S2 Gaming. It says team 13 was a different team on my roster, so that's going to be interesting. Thank you.
That's interesting because we've got S2 down as team 14.
Yeah.
But they're up against team 18, which is BM Boom Team. Excuse me, from Lithuania.
These guys not too far away from each other. Nobody's shooting just yet, though.
No. And it's good to see that we've got all the teams in. We've got all 16 teams, all 64 players. And we see teams have rotated north early.
It doesn't look like we're going to have a fight here. I might just check out the guys from squad number 10, actually. That is FV. They're not too far away from the boys and girls in squad number 6. That's UW. Yep, United Warriors did very well on Thursday, as I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. And these were 2 teams that came from Thursday's lobby A that we covered. 2 very good teams. So we got Team 10, a final verdict from Ukraine. Team 6, United Warriors Esports. They're a mix of Egypt and Tajikistan.
So we're here with what's up?
Yep, just getting some good information there, just hiding away. He knows what direction they're in roughly. But shots going in already.
Yeah, we've got contact. And
Team 6 very spread.
That is what's up. Who had the god spot on the roof there, but he's been taken out and he's been thirsted really aggressively. So FV already a player down at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. So UW there with some excellent work. They're quite nicely spread as well, and the player on the far left there can actually rotate round. And these guys are going to could potentially get into a bit of trouble here because they're going to be almost surrounded.
Here with the guys from UW. They're continuing to put the hurt on.
Some good defensive work there, taking out one of the players. Octopus there, and Thurston as well. That's good work, taking out small chunks.
So
he's not
good fire discipline there. Good fire discipline, taking out small bursts of fire, and that is a very efficient 4 kills for the boys and girls from UW. Fantastic start for them. They'll be pleased with that.
Absolutely, that's a very good start. Good aggressive work. They saw the player on the roof, they took the shot, and the fact that they were so spread out, they were able to make it, they could get a good line and they could get different angles on those players.
So here with team number 11. It's one of our teams from our hosts, in fact, Team Big. Looks like they're looking to rotate towards edge of circle here. And we have team number 16 moving north.
So players making an early rotation here. Easier for the players that jumped slightly north of the flight line. It'll be interesting to see where they go, whether they go to the very centre zone around Cosmodrome, or whether they're going to go up to the coastline and hold compounds there. So none of the teams, Team 5 from QL, they're slightly split. It's interesting to note that most of the teams are quite tightly bunched around each other. Obviously, they'll be in different buildings and looting. but none of them are really spread out that you see on some of the bigger maps.
Here we are with the boys from Fake, squad number 4. And they're heading well to the coast, actually. So, yeah, well, it's not a bad call. The coastal part of this circle could well play in the later stages of this game. So, maybe not a bad idea to get a position on the coast there. Going to check out the boys and girl from a bay here. Boys and girl, the team from a bay. We're here with squad number 7. Bad quality.
So we've got Obey down as being in slot 9. So yeah, so we've got the slot numbers aren't quite exactly what we'd listed. So apologies if we're going to have to go from their clan tags, I think.
Yeah, we just.
But we see that EOL, who were the winners of the Group B lobby on Thursday, have started getting in some knocks and some kills. And I think that's Team 16. Yeah, we are. Yeah, right in centre zone. Oh well, just south of Cosmodrome there.
Looks like they're potentially getting into it with the boys and girls from Team Big here, and
yeah, so they've got 1 or 2 players have. It looks like they've rotated away. I think they've taken the tactical decision that they just weren't able to help their teammate.
So that is 2 players gone from Team Big there. That's not a great start for these guys, but they've got 2 players up, so going to have to do their best to consolidate. Let's jump up to the north here. Looks like we've got a couple of teams getting very close to each other.
Yeah, so we've got a few teams there have made the decision. Well, that's a clever trick. We've got a few teams that have made the decision to rotate up to the very northern edge, up to the roads and the compounds up there, and try and stay out the centre zone and see what the next zone brings them.
Over here with IDL.
And Team 4, Fake Float, again from Lithuania. Nice and close here. So Team 4, they rotated slightly earlier. They've gone for a slight 2-2 split. Sorry, Abs. Across the road there. In fact, they're joining back up. So some action on the edge of zone there by the looks of it, out in the southeast of the zone.
So we're here with Godless from BQ.
Yeah. I saw that Godless did get a knock on the opposing team, but 1 kill. But the teammates all knocked here.
Yeah.
That is a lot of pressure for a player. And I'm wondering if, no, rotating away.
Yeah, I don't. And well, he's got out of the vehicle, so he's gonna med up.
Yep. So they haven't thirsted yet. They've left them as bait. And Godless here spies someone going across the compound.
Trying to buy his teammates some time.
Getting behind the wall. Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to be able to rescue all his teammates, but what he might be able to do is get some damage into Team 5 there.
He's doing his best to get medded up at this point. The blue zone is now starting to press these teams in together. Team number 14, interestingly, still staying out quite late.
Yeah, and we've got a very congested area around Cosmodrome. People rotating into centre zone.
And Godless came under a hail of fire there as he tried to get out of that one, and very quickly taken up. So that is 4 kills now from the guys from QL. Great start for them.
Yeah,
about to go into
they're edge of zone as well, so they're not under any pressure to rotate. But we see that it's very congested around centre zone, so around the Cosmodrome area. And with the next zone shift, Cosmodrome stays centre zone. So Team 8, they'll be under a lot of pressure here with people rotating in and wanting that space. So now Vortex Ammo there. Sole survivor from his team. I think it was Team 6, yep. Team 6 United Warriors Esports there that did the damage, trying to crash and take Cosmodrome at centre zone.
Yep, so 6 consolidating their position at the Cosmodrome there. We've still got a couple of teams out on the up on the north coast. BM Toxic are potentially moving towards that as well. Team number 5, QL, and team number 14 still to the south at the moment in time. We're down to 49 players left alive and 14 teams contesting. We've had a little bit of early action, but nothing too much so far. We're just going to check out our friends from Team Bake up on the coast.
Yep, so they rotated north to the coast very early, and they're continuing that work there. I think they're going compound to compound now.
Here we go towards number 18, Boom Team.
Yep, they're in one vehicle, and we've seen if you get the whole team in one vehicle, yeah, you can rotate the team quickly, but you've got to go fast because you can get taken out. These teams will try and blow the vehicle.
So these guys managed to make it through. Yeah, good idea. Get the vehicle out of sight, or at least give it some cover. But yeah, always a bit risky with the single vehicle rotation, but they managed to pull it off.
Yeah, but what I didn't see is I didn't see any other vehicles on the road. So I think where we had a number of teams headed north quite quickly, it looks like they've cleared a lot of the vehicles from that area. That could come to play later on when they have to rotate into zone if it comes into the mainland.
Okay, squad number 14 and squad number 5 starting to make their way into the southern part of the zone now. So pretty much everybody there as we're about to enter into phase 3 of the game.
Interesting to see Team 18, they stayed where they are. They didn't push. They saw that there was that vehicle had multiple people in it, so they didn't push it. They're going to sit there and wait. A lot of teams will be waiting for the next zone to see what happens because you don't want to push and then suddenly you're out of zone.
Yeah, we're just going to check out our friends from squad number 12. See what they're up to. I think you're entirely right there, Jamie. I think people have got themselves a bit of hard cover, and they're waiting to see, getting themselves looted up, getting themselves medded as best they can, waiting to see if they have to rotate and how fast. So it's going to be an interesting one.
By this stage, all the teams will have a vehicle generally, but equally, it's not that far now. Now we're entering phase 3 of the game. The distances are reduced. It's not like Miramar, so they won't have far to travel. But equally, they won't want to be doing it on foot. It's just too risky. So yeah, holding the hard cover they've got. Although we see that Team 4 have come inland now, away from the coast.
So we're here with S2, and they're not too far away from the boys and girls from Bake, and rounds are now being exchanged. An attack fire going up with the SLR there.
There we go, an SLR with a dirty great scope on it. That's what we like. Oh, very risky going in front of that window. They heard the shots, so they know there's a team here. They're taking a few risks by running in front of the windows so often. I think we saw... Did we see Kowalski and S2 in Lobby A on Thursday, I think?
I don't know, actually. I can't remember. We certainly had the guys from Fake in there.
Yep. Now, is that the rest of his team? So what we've got here, we've got...
Potentially Hitachi here looking to get a flank.
We've got a 3-1 split. So Hitachi getting information for the rest of them. Now, Furia is also rotating round. So they've got different angles on this compound. Now, obviously it's good.
And here we go. So it looks like Kowalski there pushed a little bit too forward and has been knocked by one of the boys from Fake. Now, they have taken strategic positions around this compound, the guys from S2, needing and potentially just wanting to get this first knock and give them the opportunity to push aggressively in from various directions.
Yep.
And that might be it.
There we go.
So I think
signal now.
That may well be it.
But with one of their own players currently knocked, they don't have the personnel to be able to do that until he's up and ready.
And some third-party work coming in from squad number 11, the surviving member of Team Big there.
So here we go, Hitachi rotating round, get a different position. I'm wondering if they, yeah, he's going to get closer actually. He's not just rotating to get a different angle, he's actually getting slightly closer as well.
Yeah,
I think they're getting ready for a push here.
I think he wants to give himself a little bit more cover from the player from Team 11 as well.
Yep. So look, we've got 3 angles here on Team 4. So I think, was that a confirmation there on Hellboy from Team 4? And here we go. So here comes the push.
Beautiful jump shot over the wall there from Kowalski.
Yeah. So now they're pushing onto hashtag inside the building.
Hashtag is now down. And that's a beautiful wipe from the boys and girls from S2 there.
Brilliant,
4 kills.
brilliant push.
Well planned.
Yep.
Did the groundwork. Made sure they had multiple angles, and then when they got the knock, bang, in goes the push. Very aggressive, effective play there. Certainly, we keep an eye on the guys from S2. Beautiful play.
Yeah, and like you say, the word you used there was coordinated. They didn't just rush in one at a time. They made sure they had the angles covered, and they went in. They had 2 fraggers go in, and the other 2 supported. Perfect squad pushing there.
Okay, squad number 14 are here with the boys and girls from F35 squad. So they're held up in their little compound. We've got a little bit of a split situation going on with the guys from 14. We've also got a player from squad number 11, Team Big, out there as well. It should be...
and as we saw, is Jaeger from Team Big, Team 11, not afraid to put shots in when he gets the opportunity, despite not having the numbers around him.
So we've got quite a separation between these 2 players from Team Big.
Absolutely, yeah, and it looks like actually shots going in from Team 18 onto Team 14 there, which is going to draw them away from this fight, I think.
Toxic only just making it away around that rock then, and I think he's going to get pushed on, desperately trying to get his meds in. He has now managed that. He's going to get pushed on from the left here.
We've also got Team 6 coming up in Cosmodrome as well. So the guys from Team 14 are taking shots from 2 different directions here. And in fact, I think that is Team 14 taken out. So first pushed by Team 18, but then finished off by Team 6, who've come out of Cosmodrome and pushed the shots that they heard. Yep,
that was very effective play. They took position very early on in that zone. The boys and girls from 6. And, guys from 18 still under pressure from these guys from 6. Also getting some third-party action from the guys from 16 across the road. So the guys from BM here really coming under pressure, caught between 2 aggressive teams. And, Junior's the only one up at this moment in time. Looks like 16 going for their rotation.
Absolutely, and there's just no hard cover here for Junior. In fact, I think what he might be doing is trying to get to the hard cover that Team 16 have just passed.
Hits the deck beautifully, puts some rounds out, but ultimately taken out by the boys and girls from team number 6. Great push from those guys. So we're down to 32 players left alive. 10 teams still contesting at this point. And
this will rectify itself in a minute, I'm very sure. Now, I have to say, what I absolutely love is BM Junior then. He was taking shots. He was in open ground. He was trying to get to cover. And when he started taking shots from behind, his first instinct was to fire back. I love that. As soon as he could, he turned round. He didn't just run and hide. He turned round and put some shots back. There we go.
Okay, so bit of a game glitch there, but we're back. Let's have a quick situation. We are in phase number 5 of the game. We're down to 32 players left alive from 10 teams. That is our general situation. Let's quickly jump to the boys and girls from squad number 15. Looks like they're not too far away from squad number 3, which I believe is why not our winners of Lobby A on Thursday. Yes, that's right.
Yep. What we see also is Team 6 United Warriors there. They've taken a couple of squads out now, and what they've done is they've rotated away from Cosmodrome. They've dominated that area, and they're moving away, and they're going with the zone.
That's our situation. We've got lots of teams in and around these small compounds.
Yeah, not a lot of cover here. They've got the slight slope of the hill there, which does help. But the guys, Team 3, they've got probably the best compound, I'd say, for cover, because it gives them the slight height advantage as well as the hard cover. I see. Sorry, I was waiting for it to render in.
Yeah, I didn't think he was standing out in the open.
No.
So that's our general situation.
Team 15 there, nicely spread out. You've got Zed Neil over the road in the sniper tower, getting information to the rest of his squad, and the rest of his squad can see a lot of ground from their position. Being edge of zone, there's only going to be people coming from a certain number of directions as well.
We've also potentially got some action up in the north. In fact, we could have quickly jumped to that. Here with S2, and it looks like they're not too far away from the boys and girls in squad number 12. Yep, nades going out.
And we've seen some slight changes to the throwables. Here, so the molly, the damage has been increased and the spread has been increased. The frag, you can throw it slightly further. Be interesting to see how 13 play this, whether they come out and fight.
And he had the drop on him there, but didn't quite manage to get the clear. Has been knocked though. We're here with Daddy from squad number 12 now. So look, we've got one knocked and one dead from.
Yep. So team 13 going to heal up, get the revive on if they can, and back with more pressure. They're not making it easy here.
These guys all at the edge
of compound. They're going to have to work for it.
These guys all at the edge of blue, and we are less than 1 minute away from the blue starting to push. We are phase 6 of the game, so this has got to be ended quickly, or these guys are going to have difficulty with their final rotations here.
Yeah, I can only assume that Daddy hasn't got any throwables left, because otherwise he'd have been putting nades and mollies up in. That is a very risky peek from Itachi. Puts a lot of himself in the window there, but gets away with it. These guys now regrouping, in fact putting damage back down.
And they've realised the situation, they know they've got to move. So potentially looking to get
a rotation behind now.
Looking to get the flank here, get this cleared up as quickly as possible. That's it, Daddy knocked, great work there. And looks like Destroyer the only one on his feet. The push comes round and more clears from the guys from S2 here. Fantastic work from those guys. We've had our next circle pop. They've got vehicles, they're going to rotate quickly. Let's have a quick check out here with the guys from F35. They're in the middle of a fight with squad number 16, who we have also been covering during this time.
And it looks like Team 16 have got at least a couple knocks, if not three. In fact,
and I think that was the wipe actually.
Yep. So Ahmed is the sole remaining player of F35. So I don't know if it all came from that that fight, but that was costly.
But there's no let up here. S2 straight back into the fire again as soon as they rotate in.
So we've got Team 13, Team 15 going at it over the bridge. Team 3 are actually underneath the bridge here. That's a risky position. We saw that last week in Vikendi, in the gully.
Yeah, it's very easy to get trapped in there.
Difficult to get out of. Yeah, they got trapped by the blue, and they had to very risky drive out. It wasn't these guys; it was another team. So they're slightly sheltered from the fight that's going on above them, but they've got to make sure they've got a way out.
Okay, so we're in phase 6 of the game. The next circle is going to pop in a few seconds.
And here come UW onto the right of your screen.
And there's a lot of people in this north and northwestern section of the zone. Pretty much most of the cars, I imagine, have been blown by now. And the blue is going to be moving in 1 minute 15 seconds. Phase 6 of the game.
And we've seen the zone pop now, and the next zone is straddling the river. Now, unusually, one of the features of Vikendi is, of course, you've got ice rather than just water, so you can walk on it, but it's very open. It's going to be interesting to see who positions where on this one, whether they stay the higher ground either side, or whether they try and get centre zone. I'd be surprised if anyone goes for centre zone here, because there's just not much cover.
Interestingly, tactic from squad number 5, they're holding away from this big fight in the centre as long as possible.
Yeah, UW starting to take some fire now. They've had a knock.
So we're here with the Tachi. They've already picked up 8 kills. These guys, boys and girls from S2. They're playing really well. However, the guys from UW also picked up quite a few kills in the early stages of the game. We're phase 7 now. We have,
and we're only 20 seconds till zone shift now. So they can do this, but they're going to have to move.
These nades are starting to take an effect, and absolutely everybody getting involved in a huge fight here.
So Hitachi here just holding a sort of rear guard against Team 6, making sure they can't push on the rest of their team.
Looks like we've had a couple of knocks from the guys from squad number 15 down in the low ground there.
Yeah, and it looks like on Team 3, I don't know if the other teams, I don't know if Team 13 know that Team 3 are down there. Team 13, yep, they do now.
So team number 5 starting to make their rotation in across.
And Silence here trying. Oh wow, that was a hell of a shot there on Silence.
He went for it, but his teammate Furia doing the business as others trying to rotate in the vehicle. He knows he's got at least 2 down there. He's got 3 down there.
He can see them now, but he doesn't risk standing up, although he's right behind now. He can get the shots in.
Gets one knock, manages to hold off, but he in turn has now been knocked. Some fire from UW there. I don't think he's going to make it out of this one.
No, UW have been taken out now from that strong start. They've been taken out in the north, I believe. Oh no, 2 of them have, sorry. So we're down to 4 teams, 9 players. Team 17, the player, is still in the blue zone. That's going to be hurting. I think he might just be trying to med. Maybe he realises he's not going to be able to make it in.
And this is our general situation. You have to say, strategically, this is favouring team number 5. They have all 4 members up. They have hard cover in front of them. However, they are slightly out of circle.
Yeah,
so phase 8 of phase 8 of the game. This is going to pop in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, one of QL's been knocked now. He was slightly open. If they've got smokes, they're going to have to start using them soon because they've got to get in and they've got to get to the opposite bank. So they're probably going to have to rotate left to where WNGR is and then try and make the way over there.
So Striker making a move across the river.
Ground, yeah, Hitachi there on his own, high ground, and he's in the zone. So he's on his own, so he's very risky, but he's got the best position. So he's got cover to his left with the blown vehicle. He's hiding behind it, using it very well.
And Striker getting a knock on one of the boys from QL there. So only 2 guys from QL are up, and Quasimodo's not looking very good at all. So he needs to med up quickly.
Yeah, so he's got a first aid kit in now. And zone pops now. So here we go. Here comes the push. They're going to have to go across the ice here. It's going to be very risky across open ground.
We're here with Quasimodo. Okay, so Knox going in on squad number 3. He's about to get pushed by the blue. He's dropped immediately. That is his team out.
Yeah, so we're down 2. We've actually got a 1v1 effectively because 2 players from team 3 have been knocked. So Hitachi here, edge of zone. I don't think he's got quite enough cover.
He's making his way forward and he's got some hard cover here. He takes some fire. There's only, I think, Striker up.
So here
we are, either side of this rock.
Striker.
It's going to come down to gun skills at this point. Now, Hitachi is very low on health here. Yeah. And Striker must have heard that. He must know that this is the time to push because his opposite number is low in health. Goes for the jump shot over the top and ends it beautifully there. Fantastic work from the guys from Why Not. Winners of one of our games and the overall lobby last week on Thursday for Lobby A. And beautiful conclusion there right at the end. Fantastic jump shot and use of territory going into the final stages of the game. That was a great pleasure to watch. Really exciting stuff. So in first place, Why Not? And they pick up, let's look at 10 kills. And in second place, we have the guys from S2. They pick up 11 kills. And in third place, we have QL. They pick up 8 kills. Looking at our top 3 there. Okay, looks like Hitachi and Naveed. Sorry, not Naveed. Striker, both picking up 5. We're going to check the rest of the results for you. See if we have anybody else with 5. We've got 2 guys actually from 5 from one of the teams from UW there. So well played to those 2 players.
In fact, Noah from, if you hold on, sorry, I'm just about to take a screenshot here, but I just wanted to comment that in position 5, Noor from UW, we saw him take 10 kills individually on Thursday.
Yeah, okay, so that's positions 4 through 7. And 8 through 11 now.
Okay.
Don't see that we've got any high killers there. 12 through 15, and I doubt we're going to get anybody with more than 5 at this end, but we'll continue to check.
Okay.
And squad number 16. So it looks like I think 4 players who shared 5 kills in game number 1 all collectively take top fragger for that one. Obviously, there is a prize from our sponsors Red Bull this evening for MVP. Very, very interesting to see who gets that. Anyway, boys and girls, fantastic action in game number 1. Please stay with the channel. We'll be with you shortly for game number 2. Bye for now. Okay, hi there, boys and girls, and welcome back. Okay, so yeah, we speculated as to what we were going to get in game number one, whether it was going to be quiet or people were just going to go for it. This is the final after all, and I guess these boys and girls answered our question, Jamie.
Absolutely, and what we saw was the very early stages. People were slightly cagey, but as soon as there was we got smashed, it was just relentless. People weren't holding back. As soon as they saw the opportunity, they were taking it. We saw some fantastic, perfectly coordinated squad pushes, and yeah, some great action all the way through.
Yeah, it was some really great work. I did love some of the work that S2 did, the way that they position themselves perfectly, all hit at the same time. I mean, that's the way that you hit a compound, especially when you press for time. I thought that was fantastic. But yeah, do have to acknowledge the great work done by our winners of game number one. There, why not? They pick up 10 kills in total, 30 points. Yeah, they really did take control of those final few stages of play.
Absolutely, and we questioned when we were in about phase 5, I think it was. Where they were under the bridge, and we had Team 15, Team 13 taking lumps out of each other. We questioned whether Team 3, the eventual winners, underneath the bridge, because we've seen it before. It's a great position to be in, especially when you've got the team up on the cliff, which I think was Team 13.
Yeah.
They can't see directly down to you. But there's a risk of being stranded in there if the blue zone comes in, if the zone shifts away from you too far. But what happened was, Team 13 above them, who could see them trying to rotate in rock to rock, the only way they could take a shot was to expose themselves to the other teams.
Ultimately, and I think that's what led to that team being taken out. And United Warriors, who were also down in the low position there, they were able to consolidate the position and had some cover. And ultimately, why not S2 Gaming United Warriors? That was our 1-2-3. I have to say that I've forgotten who it was now. The individual player, was it Striker?
It was Hitachi.
Hitachi
At the end for S2.
For S2, basically very patient play there. Waited until he could guarantee second place points for his team. Unfortunately, just really up against it with regard to he wasn't as made it up as his opponent, but the jump shot over the top was absolutely fantastic there.
Yeah, and the other player from Why Not there, able to hear him bandaging up. Now, he had to med up a bit. I'm wondering if he could have maybe, because they would have heard each other, I'm wondering if he could have pushed over the top of the rock, but it's a 50-50 call. Do you med up a bit for when you do get into that gunfight, or do you just go for it with half health? And
yeah,
it's a 50-50 call.
It's a very tough one, isn't it? Because as soon as your opponent hears a bandage going, he knows you're medding, he knows you're low health. He knows you're just trying to get a quick heal in. I mean, that's the time for him to push. Or you jump over the top of the rock and try your luck at a jump shot and hope you manage it with low health.
Absolutely.
Either way, you're in a very, very tough gunfight. But you do have to say that the way that Why Not closed that one out was absolutely fantastic there.
Absolutely. And what I would say is the other player doesn't know that you're low on health, so he's not going to just push. It's a one-on-one situation, so you've got to try and get some advantage, because at this level they're all really good gunfighters, so you've got to try and get some sort of advantage for yourself. As soon as he heard that medding up, he knew he had the advantage, and you saw him, his movement suddenly got a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, so anyway, we are here for game number 2, and what are your favourites, Jamie? We're on Miramar. We're about 10 seconds away from the plane, I think, so let's see what we get for this one.
Miramar. I like the distance. As you know, I love the medium to long range and the sniping. What we find actually in Miramar is, because you've got a lot of open zone, people tend to congregate around the hot drop areas. So we tend to get people in San Martin and Picado, Los Leones, depends on the flight line.
Okay, well, let's have a look at that flight line. So we're going from Campo Militar up in the northeast to Valdemar in the southwest. So pretty much anywhere that you've got the traditional hot drops are going to be in range for that one. I certainly expect some teams up to Campo Militar. It looks like squad number 5 are doing so. But Picado and all the other places that people like to fight over, certainly in range there, Jamie.
Yeah, so we've got 3 squads jumping fairly early. Team 5 headed to Camp Militar. Team 13 up to Torre Ahumada. Team 16 look like they're going to be following them, actually. I'm wondering whether they're going to go together and fight it out, or whether Team 16 might split off, although they will have a preferred jump location. It looks like we're going to have probably 2, 3, maybe more teams at San Martin or around Hacienda.
Well, just keep an eye on that. Certainly, that's the direction that our winners of game number 1, Why Not, are heading, and shoots are out. So they're going to be landing.
Yep, straight into Hacienda.
Straight into Hacienda by the look of it. So yeah, let's see how these guys get on.
Team 11 from our hosts, Big.
Yep, they are indeed. So this could be interesting. Very, very quick.
Shots already.
Shots already. One of the guys from Why Not already knocked. And you have to say, well, at least these boys from Why Not trying to protect their lead. They're going for it straight into Hacienda.
Absolutely, and look at this. We've got shots everywhere at the moment. Nobody's got decent armour. No one's got anything that they prefer. No one's got a preferred weapon.
And that is DBS, 2. I think that is 2 knocks now established on squad number 11. Striker here managed to get himself up with a Thompson, and he's got shots on here. That's a shotgun to the face. So Thompson rounds to the back. So Striker is still up and running. We only have one more member of team number 11 still up.
Yeah, and making a run for it as well. Taking the decision that he's going to remove himself from the situation and survive a little longer against what is now a 3-man team from Why Not. Brilliant early gunshots there. Gunfights, rather.
So, yeah, early action there. Now, it did cost them a player, but 3 kills picked up from the guys from Why Not very early. There is our first zone, Jammy. Nice and central, actually. Nobody should have too much difficulty rotating into that one.
No, and even the Team 5 who are up in the northeast, they're the furthest from zone, but they're up in Campo Militar, so they'll be able to get vehicles and they'll be able to get everything they need to be able to come through the zone.
Okay, so we've got final verdict just across the road there. We're here with PMBO.
So here we go. So we've got only one team dropped Picardo by the looks of it. Now, Chumacera is a busy zone because you get places like Picardo is more popular in classic play because people want to come out with bragging rights. In these scrims, especially when there's prizes up for grabs, people are a bit more wary and they'll go for a more, to use the word, professional approach. And so Chumacera actually becomes one of the hottest drops.
Okay, here we are with the guys from BM, not too far away from squad number 15, QB. We've also got elements of team number 7 out there as well.
Yeah, so you see them up on the high ground, so looking down, and you see Martin here from BM at the front of our screen, getting a good sight on them. Might be able to see them.
A few rounds going out, but nothing effectual there so far.
So it looks like Hellboy's been knocked there. I didn't see which team number. Oh, up in the north of the zone, between Crater Fields and Water Treatment. And that's a precarious place as well, up on the roof. He can't drop down over that lip. I'm wondering if he might be able to get over the staircase.
Yeah, I don't think sometimes you can get off those. Roofs particularly easily. So the guys from squad number 12 starting to come together here.
Slightly risky rotation across open ground there, but I think the other team might be concentrating on the roof of the compound. Hellboy's been revived.
And I can't. Well, we'll see. I mean, these guys exchanging fire, but I mean, some of these guys still don't have helmets yet. So whether or not they're going to want to push anything at this early stage, we'll keep an eye on it. Certainly, we've still got the 2 teams down the south. They're pretty close to each other.
Yeah, Team 9, they're very spread out. IGI. They're a very split team at the moment, but there's no one near them, so they can afford to take that slight risk. No, it's very interesting. There's no one over in the far east of the zone, no one around Los Leones, Impala, no one's gone to that direction at all. Everyone's still roughly along the flight line. I thought there might be some teams taking a wider rotation round.
And it looks like squad number 10 looking to rotate away from this one, not particularly interested in pushing an engagement at this point. And yeah, a little bit of separation between our teams at the moment. Jamie, does seem that people are playing this one just a little bit more strategically.
Yep. After we had not chaos isn't the right word, but we had a lot of action in the first match in Vikendi. So the teams now, especially those that maybe didn't quite get the big points in game one, may well be looking to consolidate and get some improved points.
And that is Neil from QB getting a knock on Junior there. Took a big chunk out of him, but managed to win that particular gunfight.
Yep, so you can see the team up on the hill as well. The rest of BM there. Up on the hillside, quite open.
Put in some great fire with the tap fire with the M16 there. So Neil having a good couple of exchanges of fire there.
Yep, and I think they confirmed the knock. Toxic managed to escape, or is he still in this building? I think he might actually be in this building still, or certainly very close to it.
Yeah, Toxic is not too far away. The other two are at the top there.
Yep, so Neil here, he knows where the other players are. He knows there's two up in the warehouse. So that was a risky move, but it's worth it because he's now got on the equal height to those two. And he'll be able to see if Toxic goes up the hill to rejoin his teammates.
Toxic playing it very quiet at the moment. Can't say I blame him. And he can certainly see a couple of the guys from squad number 15 here.
Yeah, so shots going in from the guys up on the hillside. Toxic able to give some good information, even if they can't see. He can tell exactly where the other guys are.
I think he's just waiting to pounce out on one of these guys.
Yep.
They're lobbing nades towards him.
Yeah, they know where he is, at least roughly where he is, if not exactly. Be interested to see if any of if either of his teammates that are up on the hill at the moment, if they try and rotate and round to the side to get a different angle.
Yep, just checking his back, make sure his teammates are still where he thinks they are.
Yeah. So there's no one else coming into third party at the moment. There was another team at the other end of Tumasera, but quite a long way, so they may not have even heard the gunfire. So a little bit of a peek there. But there's the cover from the side from the fourth player over to the right there, which means he can't come round to the right-hand side. And it looks like Neil's been knocked up on the roof.
Yep, Neil has been knocked down on the roof.
As I said, one of the players from Team 18 has actually got a different angle. He's rotated around to get a completely different angle on these guys.
And Toxic's potentially got the opportunity here to flank round to the right on the other side of that fence. He has got top view from one of his teammates.
Yep, so now that Neil on the roof has been taken down, that's their cover taken out. And to get to him, they're going to have to expose themselves up on the stairwell there. They can't get to him through the building. Now, it'll be interesting to see what they do here, because they won't want to leave their teammate. But if they can get out of a vehicle and make it away safely, it might be the best move. Because I don't think they can get to their teammate safely at all.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Bit of cat and mouse now, because Team 18 were under a lot of pressure, but they've now got the advantage. They're in zone, so they don't have to hurry, and they've got plenty of loot where they are. So as long as they know and that Toxic down there can cover, they don't have to push this.
Okay, we're here with the guys from S2 and the guy from FV. And S2 featured very well in game number 1, coming second overall.
And they've established the knock now on FV.
Yep, and that is the wipe. So the guys from
Absolutely.
S2 clearing that up for 4 kills. So carrying on very much the way they left off in game number 1.
Absolutely. It wasn't too costly as well. Bit of damage, but they've got away with all 4 teammates still in the game. And we see that Team 5, who were up at Campo Militar, they've already rotated in there around water treatment now. So it's only Team 12 who are out of zone now. Team 9, they were very spread out. They've now regrouped and they're heading in towards sort of Los Leones, south of Los Leones area.
Okay, so
and our
we've
zone
got
breaks.
our next circle. So we're slight movement down to the south. So San Martin, Hacienda all taken out. So there's quite a few teams up here to the north who now have to rotate in.
Yeah, they will all have, or pretty much all of them, I'm sure, will have vehicles now, so it won't be a difficult rotation geographically, but there's going to be a lot of teams trying to gatekeep and hold the pinch points up in the north there. The teams in the south are already fighting each other. What a beautiful shot that was with the Mini. Through the windows there into Picardo Stadium.
Yep, so it manages to establish the knock. Should imagine it will be pretty easy for his teammate to get the revive on. Red zone doesn't help, of course.
No, so Team 6 slightly spread out, but that's a good thing at the moment. With the danger of the red zone, if one of them does get knocked, at least they're not grouped together. I think Commander might be going for his vehicle. I wondered if he might be going for hard cover there because of the red zone. So, yep, Team 17, they get the revive on. I can see Picardo becoming quite a busy area because it's roughly centre zone. Teams will know that other teams will have landed there. Here we go, one of my favourites, the M24 with a nice big scope on it. Not quite connecting there with that shot. Just letting them know they've got eyes there.
So 6 looking to rotate now. Get themselves some cover in this compound. They were up on the high ground, so that probably make them feel a little bit more secure over there.
Absolutely. It's a good compound to work from as well, because you're next to the road, you can see Picardo, you can see quite a big area from that compound. But these guys have got eyes on them, they know exactly where they are. Very risky move out in the bus there. I think maybe trying to move the bus into a safer place, but that was very risky.
Yeah. Okay, so these guys coming out of the stadium now.
So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we get a few more teams joining them in Picardo. It's going to be fairly busy. But centre zone, I mean, it's west of Los Leones. It depends where the next... I would say it's the next zone that determines the rotations now, because people can't rotate into much hard cover in centre zone. So I think they're probably going to camp where they are or establish a compound where they can and then wait and see what happens next, because there are so many directions this could go in with some big built-up areas.
Yeah, so we've got the guys from squad number 12, squad number 5. They're rotating in from the north now. So pretty much everybody into circle nice and early. Most people managing to maintain some separation between themselves and other squads. So certainly a quieter start to the game than we had on Vikendi, although that is often the case on Miramar.
Yeah, we had some crazy action to start with Hacienda. But then, yeah, people just establishing and trying to get through... work out really where they're going to go in relation to where the zone is.
So squad number 6 from UW, not particularly comfortable with just this long range exchange of fire, so looking to put a bit of distance from that and heading out to a new location. I'll hide the vehicle away now as well.
Yeah, plenty of loot for him in there. Now we see Team 4 here are split either side of Team 13. I'm trying to see. No, it looks like the southernmost player from Team 4 is actually heading straight into Team 16 here.
And they've both been knocked. That was a 2-man recce patrol going out from squad number 4, and they have both been knocked. That's the guys from Fake. So both taken out now. So these 2 players will be spending the rest of this game as a duo. So very tough break for them.
From Team 13, taking fire from Team 13 as well, which I think is maybe the other players who are the other side of Team 13. I don't know if they did it because they needed to get away or if they were trying to get a split on and get a different angle, but it didn't pay off for them. So I'm wondering if Team 13 might head and try and push the fact that these guys are here. Team 13 got 1 player up on the very high ground there.
Well, we know that the guys from S2 pretty aggressive. Certainly don't shy away from a gunfight, but that's the problem sometimes on Miramar. It's not so much shying away from the gunfight, it's the sheer distances involved for you to be able to push and the amount of open ground you've got to go past to do it, which will often dictate how aggressive a team can play. Certainly doing what we saw them do in game number 1 to a certain extent, though, splitting up the squad, taking strategic locations. So more of the same from these guys. Certainly expect them to be featuring in the later stages of the game. We're currently in phase 3 with 40 players left alive and 13 teams. It's been a little bit quiet so far, but I'm sure that will change.
So here, for example, if S2 or Fake could get the knock, and that sorry, I'm going to break away from that and just look at that next zone.
There's our next circle, so a lot of people having to rotate.
Yeah, and Team 18 are in prime position there. They're overlooking Chumacera. So where they were up on the hillside, they stayed there and they made the right decision because all the rest of the teams are going to come in. You'll get some trying to rotate around the back to keep that high ground. But Team 18, if they can hold where they are, they're probably going to have some teams really aggressively pushing them.
It's going to be interesting to see how this one ends up. Actually, we could end up with an urban finish in Chumacera, which doesn't often happen on Miramar.
No.
Or we could end up just to the south of the city, and there's a lot of open ground there, hilly terrain. So that's going to be quite an interesting one.
And sorry.
The wonders of graphic render on Miramar, and here we are with the guys from 16, and looks like they've got a bit of a sort of a
Vortex. I think they've got a player from Vortex, Team 8 there, in their sights. I don't know how many there are.
Bit of a vehicle death race going on.
Team 16 in a 4x4 convoy here. And the bike as well. And they're going to push up to the top of Chumacera, up on the hillside here. And beautiful parking there, getting the vehicles all in, nearly. And they're going to try and take this high ground from Team 18.
You can tell we didn't teach them how to drive, Jamie.
No, I mean, at least one of those would have been blown up if we had.
Oh, yeah, upside down under a building, definitely.
I mean, if one of your cars isn't on fire, is it even driving?
Yeah, it's not even proper driving, really. Quite frankly.
So Team 18 would have heard those vehicles come in. They know they've got another team joining them. Then they've got the Team 8 Vortex and Team 6 UW coming in to join them as well.
Okay.
All want that high ground overlooking Chumacera.
Okay, here we are with GR from Why Not, our winners of game number 1, and he's in a tough situation. 3 of his teammates have been killed, and he's getting gate kept by another set of good gunfighters. In fact, the guys who came second in game 1, S2. That's... they've managed to establish 3 kills, the guys from WM, but that's them out now. So they're not going to be too happy with lower placement points than that one. But we've still got 2 more games to play. But S2 continuing their consistent play. So they might see that as an opportunity to grab some points back off. Why not? We'll have to see how that one goes.
Yeah, so a bit of revenge there for S2.
And here we go, that's the question answered. Looks like we are potentially going for an urban finish here. Obviously the northern half still desert, but we do have the potential for later zones coming in towards the town itself. So that's going to be a very interesting one to see develop.
Yeah, see how the later zones break. But at the moment, Team 17 or Team 13 could be in quite a good position here because you've got the hillside, the cliffs at the northern edge, just north of centre, just north of that clustered buildings. is a very good position. So you've got teams trying to vie for the southern edge for the overlook, and we'll probably have the same up on the northern edge of Chumacera as well. There won't be many teams who'd want to actually go into Chumacera itself, into the middle along that main road, until they have to.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I can imagine, quite a few people are going to be surfing the edge of this one until we get certainly the next circle, the next phase of play is going to be vital in deciding what happens. And the guys from Fake here, only 2 of them, but they're managing to put a bit of hurt on there.
Yeah, taking the last player out from Team 8 there, who was on his own.
Let's check out the guys from S2. Looks like they're getting into a bun fight again. Never happier than when they're shooting at somebody this lot. You need to find different ways to resolve your problems. Violence isn't always the answer. What am I talking about?
Of course it is. This is an important fight here because these are the 2 remaining teams up in the very north of the zone. So these guys are going to fight in here for the control of the north of that Chumacera zone and the high ground as well.
So we've got elements of squad number 17 out there. We've got elements of squad number 12 as well, I think.
Yeah, so the knocks have been established. So Kowalski coming in for the push. He's coming, rotating. He's going to try and come out of the blue here. The rest of his team aren't pushing yet.
So he's still got 1 player, not the guys from F35. And Kowalski doing the business again, gets the drop on Captain.
Absolutely some brilliant gunplay there. Captain had him in his sights, but Kowalski just got the drop on him.
That's that's the knock player taken out. So Reese here is.
Yeah, and the rest of the team are coming in for the push now.
Raya's here. Reese going to be under a huge amount of pressure from the guys from squad number 13 here.
Yeah, just cooking a nade, trying to drop it down the stairs.
Beautiful nade getting pushed on by the blue, however.
Yeah. So nade's dropping in everywhere, but these guys are under a huge amount of pressure now. Races down to 1 HP here. He needs to get this first aid in. But I think the other guys from Team 13 have also taken some damage, otherwise they'd be pushing. But they've got to come through the blue to get to him. So Team 13 are just getting the heel on here.
Up goes the molly.
Here comes the molly. Didn't quite reach him. He's just tucked in the corner there.
Face five, and here we go. That's the nade that does it. Fantastic work from the guys from S2 again there. They really are on fire, these guys.
Yeah, that was a really good push, that was. A very, very good defence. Did literally everything he could in that defence. But in the end, it was a good team push up in the north.
And I think there's 10 kills for that team now, so that'll certainly be a bit of a nail, well, a bit of a thumbscrew put on Why Not there, because not only have Why Not been taken out by the guys from S2, but now S2 are starting to dominate this game with a high kill count and could well establish a lead over the winners of game 1.
Yeah, 11 kills in game 1, so they're now on 21 kills. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but Team 16 in a good position here. They've got the high ground. They're on top of the oil container.
And we've still got sort of isolated teams still attempting to rotate in.
Yeah, 9 teams left. Well, it's a very small zone. These will be thinning out very quickly as they as the teams are forced to rotate in, taking fire from the teams that have already established positions. And
that's our friend who's the last surviving member of Team Big, I think, that we saw drop Hacienda. He's still running around. He's managed to pick himself up a couple of kills along the way. Fighting the blue coming in, however, he's not too far off, but phase number 5 of the game, it still hurts at this stage. And
he's 100 metres away still. Now, what he doesn't know is there's no one in front of him until he gets past the zone. So if he can make it into zone, he should be relatively safe. He should be able to get into zone safely, is what I mean.
So the guys from S2 certainly coming under some pressure there, though. Looks like a couple of them have been knocked.
Yeah, but Zulikas is the only remaining player. I don't think he's going to have time to get this first aid kit in. His health's going in chunks, and that's Fake taken out.
Guys from S2 here, they're under some pressure. We've had 2 killed now, 1 knocked. Kowalski's the only one up on his feet. We've got a bit of a bum fight happening between 5, 11 and 16 here. 16 occupying the high ground. But these guys are out of circle. Now they're going to have to move. We are phase 6 of the game. We are 40 seconds away from it starting to push.
Yeah, so Team 5 there, they've got good position in hard cover, but they've got to move. That's the trouble. They're going to have to go between the buildings. We might see some smoke coming out. Team 12, they've got all of their players left, and they're all in zone as well. So they've got hard cover. They've got split 2 and 2 here. We've got 2 teams up on the high ground. But as I say, everyone's got to try and make it into zone.
So we've got a couple of lone guns running out there as well. I think Kowalski from S2, one of the guys from Team Big, still running around as a solo up there. Basically just trying to do everything they can do to get high placement points for their teams.
Yep, so here come the smokes for the teams to rotate in. Team 12 will be putting some rounds in as soon as they...
and looks like 16 are starting to make their move now.
Yep, so here we go. So we've got one coming as an initial scout. He gets into zone, and the rest will follow now, one at a time. In fact, one of Sync's been taken out, been knocked, sorry. And we've got one of Team 5 very split from the rest of his team, but he's in zone.
So 16 coming in with the fast rotation. Didn't really have much of a choice there. They managed to make the edge of zone, but they're under fire. They go straight into a fight.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's Daddy getting a knock on one of them.
So Daddy now, he's heard that there's another player from Team 5 to his left.
Stop messing about, mate. Get the spray on.
So he can hear the player from Team 5 now. He knows he's there. Kowalski from from S2 been taken out now. So we're down to our last 3 teams. Team 12 are the only ones that have got anyone in zone.
So we're down to our last 3 teams. 8 players left alive.
Yep, and I think Team 16 are getting the revive on. They're in the smokes. It looks like they've got at least a couple knocked. Yeah, so Calypso and Zippers are knocked. They're being revived. They're in the smokes and they've got cover with the vehicles, but none of the vehicles have been blown.
So we have 15 seconds just over until our next circle starts to push. We are phase 7 of the game, and these guys are starting to move forward now towards squad number 12, PMBO.
Yeah, so Team 12 are the only ones that have got hard cover, but Team 16 have the numbers. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So Team 12 were also split with Daddy up there on the hill. He's holding back the player from Team 5, but also it means that Team 16 can't just go out in the open because he will see them.
So that's our situation. The blue is starting to move in, and we're very quickly going to end up fighting out in the open ground here at this rate. We're here with EOL squad number 16, our winners of Lobby B on Thursday.
That's Daddy knocked, and we're also down to our final 2 teams here. They're concentrating on Daddy. They don't know that's not where the rest of the team is, though. Here we go. So now they know where to concentrate their fire. They've received fire from the team in hard cover.
So we're down to our last 2 teams. It is 6 players left alive. So we've got the 2 players from squad number 12 facing 4 players in squad number 16, but 16 have had some knocked players, so potentially looking to get these guys on their feet, but they haven't got long. We're at phase 8 of the game, 20 seconds. Phase 8 of the game, 20 seconds.
Yep, 15 seconds to go, and Team 16 are going to have to start rotating in because they're going to be pushed by zone. Team 12, there's only 2 of them left, but they've got hard cover and they're in zone. Team 16 here, they smoke the approach.
So they're rotating in behind the smoke. They've managed to make the wall and hard cover. Now he knows he's got a player to his left here.
Yep. So these guys, EOL, took the win in their Lobby B on Thursday. They were their group winners.
So phase 8 of the game, one way or another, and running through the fire there to try and get away. Some fantastic action.
Yep, he's not. Here comes the push.
That's the push, and that is the win. And I think that was our friends from EOL who took that one. It is indeed. So fantastic work from these guys, the winners of Pool B. on Thursday, establishing their presence with a winning game number 2 here in the finals. Fantastic performance from these guys. Okay, in first place we have EOL. They take 7 kills. In second place, PMBO. Two different clan tags there. Yeah, 2 different clan tags there, and our list isn't up to date, so I'm just going to have to go PMBO there.
It's Team Sync. Yeah,
Team Sync.
It's Team Sync.
Team Sync, they take second place. That is 3 kills for these guys. And QL, they take third place with 4 kills. I do know we've got some higher kill counts out there, because in fourth place, the guys from S2, they pick up 13. 6 of those for Kowalski. So that's certainly going to be featuring going into how we look at the tally at the end there. 6 kills for Kowalski. Going to have a quick look at the rest of the leaderboard just to make sure. Can't see anything greater than 6 there.
No, Psychopath doing a good job there with 4 individual kills.
So, yeah, looks like Kowalski takes it in game number 2. Okay, boys and girls, fantastic action at the end there of game number 2. Fantastic work from the guys from EOL there. We'll be back with you very shortly for some post-game analysis and introduction into game number 3. Okay, we're just going to take a quick break and we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls, and welcome back. Okay, we'll be taking off very shortly for game number 3. Some fantastic action there in game number 2. Great win there from Empire of Lithuania, taking the win. Now, it's very interesting. We did say that the push by S2 was going to have an effect on the overall results, and I'm going to try and find a way to get these actually on the screen for you in between games 3 and 4, so we can see what the standings are going into our final game. But S2 Gaming leading with 46 points. And then we have Why Not Empire Lithuania, Quantum Leap, United Warriors, all with 34, 33, 32 and 31 points respectively. So, they certainly stamped their mark with the great performance in games 1 and 2, S2 Gaming. Game number 3, we're on Sanhok, and to a certain extent, Jamie, it's going to be moving day. If these guys want to contest, they're going to have to put a move on in game 3.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you say, just looking at the points from the first 2 games, we see S2 Gaming second, so 2 second places, which has obviously done them very good in the stats there. 1 a chicken dinner, but most importantly for them, 24 kills. The nearest team to them is United Warriors Esports with 20 kills. Why not? I mean, that's making the difference on the points at the moment.
Absolutely.
The other teams are going to have to start. I think teams like Why Not, Empire of Lithuania, Quantum Leap, and United Warriors Esports, they're going to have to look to get more placement points they're going to have to really start pushing aggressively to get these team kills. That's making the difference at the moment. And
you have to say that we've got 2 players from S2 actually in the joint for top fragger at the moment, with another player from UW. They're certainly lining up the kill feed. You have to say that if you're one of these teams that is there or thereabouts, positions 2 through 5, and you come across S2 in the early stages of this game, to give yourself a chance of moving forward, you've got to take them on. You've got to see if you can get them out of the game early, because you leave these guys in the game for too long, they're getting top 3 placement consistently, and they're racking up consistently more than 10 kills. So for these teams who are looking to push up and contest this one, they've got to be looking to take out S2 early, I feel, in game 3.
Absolutely. You look at the top 4 of the current leaderboard. S2, Why Not, EOL, and Quantum Leap. Placement points are roughly the same. They're all quite even. It's the kill points. Now, the interesting thing with Sanhok being a much smaller map, places like Miramar, you kill teams as you come across them. You know, as you're doing your rotations, you come up, you find a compound. Whereas Sanhok, everyone's in a much tighter space, and so you tend to get higher kill counts individually. I think it was Noor from can't see where he's from now. From EUW, sorry, from Urban Warriors. In one of the games, he individually got 10 kills. So we see that it can happen. But we might see some higher kill counts, I think, in Sanhok, rather than being more spread out as we get in some of the other games. Apart from S2, of course, have just been killing for fun.
Yep, they've been lighting it up, and we're not too far away now from getting into the plane, game number 3. We've had some interesting games. We've got to be quiet there. Phases 2, 3, 4 on Miramar, but as soon as we hit phase 5, just non-stop action there. It was just S2 are just really. Not only they're rotating well, their splits within the squad are good, and when you come across these guys, they're cleaning it up. One-on-one gunfighting skills are just at this moment in time proving a bit too much for some of these boys and girls.
They are in terms of kills, and they're getting good placements, but they haven't taken a chicken dinner yet. Each time they have lost out. So because they're getting into these fights, what's happening is they're not always getting the numbers into the final circles.
No, I think
they only got 8 place points.
I think in both games actually they've only had sort of one player in coming into the final stages of the game. However, it's put them in good stead. They're currently our winners by a considerable margin so far. So we're going to see what we get for game number 3. We're on the plane, and let's have a look at our flight path here, Jamie.
Oh, that's a fairly standard south to north, just dissecting the map.
So pretty much everywhere is going to be in range from that one. Now, interestingly, our guys from Why Not, they hot dropped on Miramar. Are they going to be looking to hit Paradise or Boot Camp? We shall see. They've certainly exited the plane over Boot Camp.
Yep.
But no, but look at this, they're drifting towards Paradise.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one.
It looks like we've got 2 teams heading out to the east down to Kampong. Only one going to the docks. Interesting also to see that what we usually get is we get 1 or 2 teams heading over to Hartin and Camp Alpha and making a gamble that the zone's going to go to the Northwest Island. But look at Paradise. I think we've got a couple of teams floating over it, or are they all heading in?
We've got at least 2 teams, 3, and so we've got Why Not and the boys and girls from Team 18, not too far away from this one. So Why Not very much carrying on the way they have done by going for the hot drop and trying to establish some early kills. We've also got elements of team number 6 around here, I think. Yes, we do.
Yeah, Sonic's still landing, actually. So they're on the compounds around the outside, and it looks like, actually, we've got a very southern zone. You can see the line on the mini-map there. Yeah, so centred around Painan.
But interestingly, nobody dropping the Northwest Island there, Jamie.
No, as I said, we get it. Sometimes you get 1 or 2 teams taking the gamble, and we have seen the zone shift over to Northwest Island quite often.
And Why Not getting into it very, very early. No helmet. Managed to pick up a vest. Hasn't even got a pair of trousers, poor sod. Yep, it's terrible. And
covering. Yep. So Surprise Madfac there is going to be covering when other players come in to try and get the revive on their teammate. So a few shots going back and forward here. Not afraid to get into an early engagement.
And that's junior knocked now by Navid.
Yeah, so Martin revived.
The guys from, you have to say, the guys from 3 starting to close this one out now.
Yep, GR taking a lot of damage.
And that is the team from BM wiped out. So the guys from Why Not establishing an early position of power in this game, taking 4 kills immediately. All 4 members will be left up, and they've got all the loot in Paradise to get themselves geared up going at the final stages. Great play, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Why Not second in the table currently on 13 kills, where they've done themselves a great favour there with another 4 kills.
So here we are in Painan, and we've got squad number 17. That's the guys from F35, and yep, our friends from S2, not too far away from this one. We know these guys want the kills. We know they're an aggressive team. Yeah,
so Team 17 won't necessarily know who it is that's near them yet. As soon as there's a knock established on either side, they'll know. Now, if you see someone that's racking up the kill counts, the kill feed, it can change the way you play, whether you become slightly more passive or you know you have to play in a more aggressive manner against them. So as soon as you know who it is, and these guys have probably played against each other a few times in other scrims, so they'll know their gameplay.
Well, F35 currently, I mean, they're sitting in 7th place at the moment on 15 points. So if they want to contest, they're going to have to make a move, which means they can't really afford to be backing away from gunfights, even against the likes of S2, if they expect to move up the table.
Absolutely. But they need to do it in a considered way. But yes, I agree. They've got to be a bit more aggressive. We saw them getting towards the late stages of Game 2. But yeah, they're on they're on 5 team kills at the moment.
Yeah, 5 kills in 2 matches in comparison to 24 for S2. So yeah, I mean, how do you play this one? I mean, are you content to do okay? You've reached the final after all. You're obviously a very good team, but you've got the guys in the lead in front of you, and that would certainly be a big scalp to take. It's going to be very much up to the in-game lead to decide whether or not he wants to push this one.
Well, that's the thing. It's the opportunity, as you say, for a really big scalp. S2 Gaming has shown themselves to be the fragging team of this final.
Okay, we're going to quickly jump away from this one because I think we've got some action with the guys from QB. They're getting into it. Squad number 9, not too far away. That's the guys from LDI.
Yeah, so we've got shots coming in.
And that's 2 of QB dead, 1 knocked now.
So that's it. So Skifok is the last remaining player now. So he's becoming the
And
hillside.
yeah, one of the guys from LDI behind him did a beautiful flank move and cleaned him up. So that's 4 kills from these guys. Well played.
Yep, they're out of zone, but they've got the run of Kampong now.
Nobody's messing about. I do want to check on how S2 Gaming are doing, but at the moment we've got 2 teams in boot camp. Also, let's have a look who we've got. We've got FV.
Yep. And Team Obey as well. It looks like Obey, they haven't lost players. It looks like they actually jumped as a duo. So maybe a couple of the players weren't able to make it into the lobby.
Don't know, but yeah, that's definitely they've definitely dropped as a duo, which is interesting. You know, you're a duo and you're dropping into boot camp. Having said that, Obey haven't had a particularly great performance games 1 and 2, so may well be trying to get some good loot and be try and pick up some odd individual kills. Maybe act as a little bit of a spoiler and see what they can do with it.
Yep.
But
you can't fault the mindset. They're dropping into boot camp as a duo, as you say, and they would have seen the other team coming in, so they didn't shy away from it.
No, absolutely not. So you've got to give them a big thumbs up for that.
Now, FV are actually tied with Obey on 2 points at the moment. So whoever wins out of these guys wins boot camp. They're going to be climbing the table.
And interestingly, I just want to see if I can.
It's so congested you can't click on the players.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can click on a player in Painan. These guys still dancing around each other a little. And it does look, interesting enough, as if S2 are potentially looking to rotate out the back of Painan. They're not going to take this fight on immediately.
No, so they've decided they've got enough loot. They'll know there's other people there. They would have heard them from that distance, but they're not going to take on the fight. They're not just going to sit and wait for one of Team 17 to show themselves. They're going to rotate round.
And looks like we're getting into a fight with the guys from Big here. And this is where S2 are heading, actually. So this is a perfect opportunity for these guys to third party this one and maybe pick up some easy kills.
Yeah, so UW here looking to try and get some extra kills, but they've got S2 coming up behind them. The 2 players from Team 6, they're focused on this fight here. They will hear the players from Team 13 soon, but if they're not in cover, they're going to get a surprise. And there it comes.
Yep, the guys from S2 doing what they've done so well. They're pushing straight into this fight. This is a great opportunity for them, and I can't see them wasting this. They can certainly rack up some kills here.
Yeah, so Team 11 may have got a bit of a reprieve there.
Whacking the rounds into UW here, whacking the rounds into Big. This is all going to be helping their cause, and I think, I'm certain, Jamie, is that the guys from UW gone there? That is a big scalp to be taken out that early.
Absolutely, they've been taken out. Now Team 11 is stuck between 2 squads here. Silence takes down Octopus, yep, so Big with the revive, but there's, as you see, they've got S2 coming in from the high level. Now they're in a bit of a tough situation here because they're stuck between 2 teams.
And that's Gladiator knocked. And just force Mantalis getting away from this one. His teammates up there has also been knocked. So that is UW and Team Big feeling the wrath of S2 there, who rotated out of Painan. Didn't want to take that fight on, but they certainly went straight into this one. And they picked up 4 kills already.
Yeah, so I think Team 17 and Painan just weren't showing themselves. So these guys thought, you know what, we've got enough loot. Let's go for a bit of a hunt. So whether they heard shots or not, I don't know. But I think what they're doing, they're actually trying to rotate because the zone shifted slightly north. So they were trying to make sure they're heading towards centre zone.
Okay, we've still got our players dancing around each other a little bit in boot camp. Everybody else trying to take a position centre zone. As we know, rotations on Sanhok just take a bit longer because it's nearly always done on foot. So people establishing themselves well into the zone, nice and early. And, well, yeah, fantastic start from the guys from S2 here.
Yep, so Vortex there is starting to get some kills in down in the southeast. I don't know if that was on Big or on IDI. Sorry, LDI.
So it looks like our friends from Why Not, they've rotated south of Paradise now. They've got a pretty isolated situation up in the north there. Potentially just having a quick look at boot camp, see if they can third party that one, pick up some kills.
And look at that. It looks like everyone read exactly where the zone's going to go. Everyone's already in zone, so there's no more rotating needed apart from just tactical rotations now.
So we have the guys 16 on the high ground there, winners of game number 2, winners of Lobby B on Thursday. And look, we've got a lot of players up and around there. The guys from S2 taking position. Got the two surviving members of Big.
Yeah, 2 of the big hitters on the leaderboard at the moment, S2 and Empire of Lithuania, on opposite hillsides.
And looks like the guys from Big are getting bounced a little bit by squad number 8 from Vortex here. And Hitachi has a quick look here, and he's got sights on. Beautiful spray with the M4 there.
Great work. Just as the player from Team 8 were taking cover from Team 11, S2 managed to spot them and get the knock-in.
Great team communication there. As soon as he ended that spray, he knew he had another player on his left. He'd been already given that information by his team. I have to say they're functioning very well as a squad, these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. They're obviously communicating well. They're getting well coordinated and aggressive play as well. And Kowalski straight down there, getting so going up ahead as a scout. They know where some of the players are, but he's there just making sure. Only got level 2 gear actually, so he can't be too blasé about it. He has got a full squad in front of him.
Minor details, Jammy. Minor details. This is Sanhok. This isn't your wimpy Miramar where you shoot at people from 4 miles away. This is Sanhok. Get up close and personal and batter them to death with your helmet.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, so as people who are new to the stream, and I finding out we have different approaches to gameplay. I prefer a sniper, whereas Vimes prefers to just go in with his fists.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's calmed down a little bit. 11 teams, 36 remaining. Still a few shots going in between these teams. But everyone trying to establish their position and consolidate and then look to the next where the zone's going to pop. But Kowalski's still doing that great job up ahead of the rest of his team. The rest of his team facing the other way. Okay,
the general situation we're facing, we've still got the 2 guys dancing around each other in boot camp. We're down to 36 players left alive. 11 teams contesting this one. S2 certainly carrying on the way that they've done so in games 1 and 2. We're going to quickly jump here with the guys from UW because they're also in contesting this one. And looks like potentially they may well be facing a push from the guys from Why Not. So 2 squads that are featuring higher up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, this could determine who goes into game 4 competing for the lead here, because these are 2 teams. We're in 2nd and 5th from the first 2 games. Now UW Team 6 already lost 2 players.
And they must have heard that. Looks like these guys might be trying to maintain a little bit of a low profile, maybe.
I think so, but Team 3, Why Not? They've actually crossed over the road now, so they're splitting. They've got 3 different buildings now, so they're going to. I think they might start to put the push on to Team 6 as they rotate around with different angles. So he's just looking. There he goes. So we spotted him now in the other building.
And here we go. I think we're going to start to see a push from Why Not here.
Yep, I think they might.
Yeah, jump shot through the window there, so he's got to get on his feet. He's straight into the small room with his buddy here, but this is just going to be crashed. They managed to put the jump on the beat here, and he's managed to put the knock on another. But this is great stuff, but ultimately the guys from UW just couldn't put up with the pace and aggression of the push from Why Not. They picked themselves up another couple of kills, and that is 10 for these guys. So we said game number 3 was moving day. These guys have decided they're moving.
Absolutely. A very aggressive, very good push there. They worked their way through the buildings, got the different angles, the jump shot through the window. They had a player knocked, but they could afford it because they had the numbers.
So here we are with S2 now. Interestingly enough, they're now opposite the road again with the guys they were opposite with in Painan. That's F35.
Yep, so they're now over the road instead of over the river. So, as we've seen, the Mollies had an increase in damage and an increase in damage radius as well recently.
Looks like Why Not are getting into another gunfight, though. Getting pushed by squad number 11 here. Sorry, squad 14.
So, squad 14, I think actually there's only one or two of those, but I think it might only be one player left. So, taking an opportunity there. So, putting shots in through the smoke as well. So, yeah, so useless from Obey.
Certainly putting some rounds in. Got himself a nice Mark 14 there. That'll certainly do it. But the guys from Why Not really doing the business there.
Yeah, F35 have taken down Kowalski from S2 there. So they've got the better of that match that started off in Painan.
Yeah, and that's the last.
Finished off.
That's the last player from taken out, and here we are with S2. F35 are pushing, and Hitachi's knocked at least 2. And gets taken out, and that is the guys from F2 taken out by F35. Fantastic work, guys. That's certainly going to put the cat among the pigeons.
Absolutely. So we got a combination of Why Not with 11 team kills still going, and S2 having been taken out with 4 team kills, I think it was they had at that stage. I didn't see if they got any of F35 apart from a knock. I don't think they did. So that actually could make big changes in the leaderboard.
I'm going to jump in with the guys from EOL because they've got central location in this zone, but we know what central location in zone means. It means everybody's coming at you. And we're down to 24 players left alive. 7 teams still contesting phase 5 of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that was a brilliant push from F35. Having been very cagey across the water in Painan, when they came down to that compound there, they weren't as cagey. There was a brilliant push. So Mantel is here from EOL, just covering from the high ground in centre zone.
We're here with guys from EOL, and we've got some gunfights going on. I think that's Why Not again.
Yep, so F35 taking some casualties there.
Why Not 11 kills so far.
Just on the very edge of zone here.
Yeah.
F35 taking casualties now.
But that's another knock established on Why Not. So they've got 2 players down, and they've got 2 players down on the edge of the blue phase 6. This is going to be very challenging for these guys.
Absolutely. And they've got a long way to rotate in as well for the next zone.
And team number 16, you have to say, doing a great job of gatekeeping these guys.
Yep, so they're edge of zone. They're able to rotate in edge of zone, and they know which way they have to look now. So that early rotation is paying dividends for them.
So these guys are going to use this hill as cover. And that was it, Mentalis in that tower there, doing the hurt. That's exactly what he's there to do.
Absolutely, he's got a job to do, and he did it perfectly there.
So the guys from Why Not, they've certainly lit up the kill board, but yeah, 16 doing a great job of gatekeeping their central location.
Looks like Zippis has been knocked though from EOL. Meskis has been taken down as well, so they're down to 2 players up and 1 knocked.
We are in phase.
Just on the very edge of zone.
We're still only in phase 6 of the game, but look at all of these players who are outside of zone having to push in with the blue. Naveed is knocked. So Sickness, the only member of his team up. That Mentalis in the tower is proving to be a real pain here.
Yeah,
Sickness
causing all sorts of problems.
Sickness having to rotate in and leave his partner behind.
Yep. So loading up with the first aids here. We might be seeing the end of Why Not here. If he can get the first aid in time, he can. Mantalis is rotated in now. So they've left these guys in the blue.
So we're here with 16. They've got the problems of their own. They're still edge of circle, so they've had to rotate away from that one. But I can't see our friend from 3 making it out.
No. So we've got teams here. They're all hovering around the edge of zone. No one wants to go into zone because the zone is on the side of a hill. So Mantalis there taking down Sickness from UW. Sorry, from Why Not, I think it was.
Yeah, that's Why Not. So that's Why Not out now. Certainly did a good job, though.
Lighting up the kill feed.
So here's our situation. We've still got EOL on the high ground. Just there, right, we've got LDI. We've got a single player from squad number 8B, Vortex, just down there, who is now taking some rounds from QL and has been taken out. EOL putting the final rounds in there. So we're down to these last three teams.
Yep, 9 players, three players per team.
Phase 7 of the game. And, yeah, QL now starting to come under pressure from a push from LDI on their left flank. And this is working straight.
Got the high ground, but that may not be the advantage.
This is working straight into the hands of EOL, though. Squad number 5 and 9 going at each other here. 16, though, for all they have the high ground, they are out of circle. We're in phase 8 of the game, and this starts to push in 30 seconds. Out comes the Molly. Take some rounds for it.
We'll see here of 16 because they've got to rotate, but they've got to come down the hill, and they might have the high ground, but it's very open ground here down the hill.
Yep, they need to be getting their smokes out, I think.
Quasimodo protecting his flank there with the smoke, but what it does, it means that Team 16, they can come down because he can't see them either. And they're actually under a lot of pressure here.
16 have actually now been wiped by the push from 9. And 9 going for a split separate here. The two guys from QL are still together behind this hard cover.
Yeah, so they're split, one high, one low, trying to get the angle. Ace from QL, not.
Oh no, two bursts with the Uzi and doesn't make it count. He's got to come round here and start to push this one now. Here we go. Yep, beautifully. That's one of the guys from LDI cleared up. So we're here with Lisa, the last surviving member of LDI, getting into it and is taken out. And I think that is a win for our friends from QL there. Fantastic work. Really controlled that final phase of play. The guys from EOL doing a fantastic job also, but ultimately the circle didn't break for them. And LDI coming in second there. So in first place, we have the boys and girls from QL. They take 6 kills. In second place, we have the guys from LDI. Great game for these guys. 13 kills in that one. And in third place, we have the guys from EOL, our winners of game 2. Also a good game for these guys. 9 kills. So we've got 2 players there. No Name and Montalis did a great job in that sniper tower there. They pick up 6 kills apiece. We're just going to have a quick look at the rest of the leaderboard. Why not? How did these guys do? 12 kills for those guys, so they're certainly going to be very happy with that. Would have liked to get a little bit higher up the placement points there, but they'll be reasonably happy with that. S2, not a great game for them in comparison to their earlier performances. Only 4 kills down in 9th. Don't see. I'm just going to have a quick look for you, but I don't see anything that come close to getting 6 kills. Obviously, we'll have top fragger and things sorted out for you soon. Right, boys and girls, I'm going to quickly jump off because I want to see if I can get the results in the overall standings for you to see before we start game number 4. So we're going to be back with you very shortly. Bye for now. Jeremy, I think your mic's still live, mate.
Literally just switched it on.
Okay, boys and girls, welcome back, and that was a very exciting game. Game number 3. Saw a lot of teams putting a move on there, and I've managed to get the graphic up for the current standings. And I know you can't see my screen, Jamie, but you've probably got the current standings in front of you. So why don't you talk us through who put a move on there?
Well, what we can see is the LDI Punch there, 14 points for second place, but they got 13 kills, really stepped up there. Quantum Leap, they've been the form team in terms of placement points. They've been consistent. They've had a fourth, and a second. And a win. Apologies. So, in terms of the points, fourth, second, in terms of what they've had at each time, which means they're now in the lead of the overall standings. 40 placement points, 18 kills, 58 points. They're 5 ahead of S2 Gaming, who S2 Gaming, they were the form team coming into the third game. The number of kills they were racking up. And we said, if someone can take them out, it would be a big scalp. And F35 did exactly that. So they're on 53 points.
Yep, they did. It's pretty tight up there. I mean, we've got Quantum Leap 58, S2 Gaming, why not, both showing 53, and we got EOL on 52. So, yeah, I mean, the games. I mean, all the teams that we've covered a lot because we're seeing a lot of them. But certainly that gunfight with F35 taking out S2, and I think S2 only got 4 kills in that game. That certainly opened it up for the rest of these guys to close it up for a very exciting conclusion coming into game 4. This is exactly what we said needed to happen, and the boys and girls have delivered, and we've just got a very, very close leaderboard coming into game 4.
Absolutely, and what we've got is 4 teams now really in contention, because the gap then to 5th, United Warriors, who've got 20 team kills. They're third on the kill count, but they've only got 12 placement points. They're on 32. They're 20 points behind 4th place. So really, it's the top 4 now that are going to be fighting for the top 3 positions, because we've got the prize pool. We've got €50 for the top position, then 35, and then 15. So one of those top 4 teams is going to miss out, and it's so close.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys play it going into Erangel. Obviously, the map that pretty much everybody knows the best, Erangel. These guys will certainly have played it a lot. They'll have their favourite locations. I mean, at this level, these guys even know if you do get, which quite often happens in Erangel, sometimes you do get your open field engagements going into final circle. I mean, these guys even know where the hills are, where the little trenches are in the update around Pochinki, things of that nature. Where there are the little gullies and things that you can use anything for cover to protect your team, protect your vehicles, give you an advantage to smoke up coming into the final stages of the zone. Alternatively, we could get a building finish, which is always very, very exciting. But certainly the teams are going to have their strategies. They're going to know where they're going to go. And for these guys, all up at the sort of, I would say the top 4, to be honest with you. But I mean, they're only 20 points ahead of the like of LDA Punch, Sync, who took a win, UW, who've been consistently well performing throughout. Some of these big teams get taken out early. It's open in the middle part of this table. It's really going to be very, very exciting going into game 4.
Absolutely, and what we also see is on the personal or the individual most valuable player count, we've got S2 Furia and Iriel Mantelis both tied on 10 kills. Now, that's brilliant individually over 3 games. But what you've then got is you've got QL Ace, S2 Kowalski on 9. You've got Why Not Navid and UW Reno, and S2 Hitachi all on 8.
You notice how I maliciously threw it on you to pronounce that one, mate. I wasn't even going to try, man. I just wasn't going to have it.
So we've got all these players from the top 4, top 5, and indeed top 6 teams. Performing individually. So yes, it's a team game and they'll want to be there for their team, but someone like LDI Punch, who came second in that last game, they're on 32 points. Realistically, it's going to take something amazing for them to win this, but one of their players is in the top 10 of the individuals, so they could get the MVP here. So it's all to play for, not just the top 3 positions, but also the MVP.
Absolutely, because there are places for the top 3 placed, and the MVP is supplied by our sponsors for the evening, Red Bull. Very generous of those boys and girls. Thank you very much indeed. I have to say, the guys from Team Big putting on a fantastic event, and these boys and girls, Jamie, they're certainly giving us some exciting stuff to commentate on.
Absolutely, and we've got some parts of typical scrim play where some players, especially when you've got a high stakes game, being a bit more cautious. But the flip side of that is that the other 90% of the game, we've got teams really covering. We've got some great tactical play, which is the bit I love. We've got some really good individual fragging. We've got some good squad pushing, some good defensive compound as well. It's been a good all-round set of 3 games. Looking forward to the final game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think we're too far away. We've still only got 49 in the room at the moment, so we've probably got a few minutes. So, we're just going to take a quick break, boys and girls, for 1 or 2 minutes until we get into the lobby. Purely and simply to let me and Jamie rest our vocal cords, because I imagine we're going to be yelling a bit towards the end of this one. So we will see you very, very shortly. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls, here we are. Game number 4, Erangel. This is the decider. This is where the winners of the big inaugural event will be decided. This is the big one. So, here we go, Erangel, match number 4. We're on the plate.
So we're starting off at Milton by the looks of it.
So, yeah.
A fairly benign flight path, east to west, Milton to west of Gatka there. Everywhere in range.
So we're here with currently following the guys from QL, who are our our team leaders on the leaderboard at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys drop, but also we're going to keep a very close eye on the guys from S2, Why Not, and EOL, all contesting for the win here. And some
S2 dropping Milton Power.
Yep, they're already out the plane. Milton Power, a little bit of a spread between the power station and that little compound across the road by the look of it, Jamie.
No one else around them, so they can get plenty of good loot there. At Milton Power, we've got Team 3, Why Not, heading over to Novo Crates. Team 7, it looks like they're going to Milton, are they? I think they're going to Milton Town.
Yeah, so why not doing their usual? They're not frightened of dropping the hot locations. They've done exactly the same thing, but they're uncontested down there. Interestingly, our leaders from QL opting to drop late.
Yeah, I'd imagine they're going up to George, up to either the Crates or North George Apartment, maybe hospital, but unlikely. Look at that! Why not? Team 3, the only team in the south up on the Millie Base Island.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one.
Team 18 heading down towards Quarry. Again, they're on their own. It looks like everyone else is heading up towards Georgopol and up towards Yasnaya, Mansion, Lipovka area.
Okay, so it looks like our winners, QL. They've got squad number 8. I think that's Vortex, not too far away. There is our first zone. Looks like these guys are drifting over to North George Apartments, Jamie.
Yep.
F-35, who are the guys who took out S2 in game number 3.
One thing that's interesting, I've noticed we're actually we've only got 13 teams. We've only got 50 players, 13 teams. So we're actually missing 3 teams, and I'm trying to work out who's missing from the top teams.
Yeah, not too certain.
Already started.
Not too certain what's going on there. Potentially, you've got people who not certain they're going to contest it going in who have dropped out. I hope not. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to see a full and active scrim, but we shall. I do hope that's not a technical issue that's kicked some teams.
I didn't see anyone kicked. It looked like they actually started pretty much on time, but with 50 players.
So
I think, yeah.
Looks like the guys from EOL have already taken a couple of scouts, so that was either a team that dropped as a duo or maybe a couple of scouts, but they've already taken a couple of kills. That's going to certainly help their cause, so they're more than happy with that. They've got some vehicles, they've got a couple of buildings to loot here, so they'll be happy enough with that.
Absolutely. So EOL currently in 4th place, so a couple of early kills, that's going to help them with the points.
So here we are with Team Big, squad number 11. They're not too far away from LDI.
No, so LDI currently in 6th. Came 2nd in the previous game. I think we've got the usual early game freeze there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come back up. So LDI, one of the few teams that could potentially get into that top 3. Unlikely, I have to say, but they came up with a very good performance, coming 2nd in game 3.
Come on. Do not want this. We've had a pretty okay night tonight. Don't want this in game 4.
No, that's fine. It'll resolve itself. I have every faith in you. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm just going to check the server and see if there's anything on about how many. Yeah, about whether they. So I'm sure this freeze won't last too long. It does happen on the emulator fairly often, unfortunately. Come on. It usually sorts itself out in a couple of minutes.
Well, as long as it doesn't do it again, I don't mind. I'd rather lose a few minutes at the beginning of the game than at the end.
Absolutely. Oh, it's starting to move now, so it's it's stopped tripping over itself. Here we go. And we didn't lose anyone else either. So they're nice and close. Team 11 Big and Team 9. No kills. Yeah, we've got some shots going across now between LDI and Team Big here. So LDI with that brilliant 2nd place in game 3. Now,
so we've got yeah, we got well, look, they're starting to come together. Although there's 2 players from Big taking a sort of more strategic role at the back here. So potentially, our friend here, he's the most forward. He'll be reporting back there the exact location.
Yeah, and the other 2 players are up on the apartment, so they are separated, but they're up on the apartment, so they've got the height. They'll have an overwatch here. If they can find out exactly where these players are. So Mantalisa knows exactly where Roxanne is.
We haven't
Everyone else is fairly spread, although it looks like we're getting a bit of action, a few teams close together around the school area. So the first zone centred around Rosocken School.
I'm just going to quickly jump to EOL here because they are contesting, and we saw saw a couple
Curse
of
the commentator there, just as you move away. Godless making it to the compound.
Yeah, Godless having a bit of a scout there and coming under the guns of coming straight under the guns of EOL there, but we're going to go back to Big and squad number 9. Looks like we have now started to move forward and push in.
Yeah, so D-Force Mantalis has taken down Roxanne. We saw Roxanne was just over the road in the sort of cafe, the glass-fronted cafe area. And now they're starting to push LDI further back. In fact, it looks like they're retreating is not the right word, but they've moved away from this road area and more towards the back of Yasnaya.
Yeah. So I think LDI not too interested in getting into an early contact. At the end of the day, they are contesting for this. Team Big, to a certain point, they're in 9th place.
Yeah. So they some good kills and a good placement here, and they could move up the leaderboard quite well, probably up into sort of 5th, 6th area.
Well, I think squad number... Well, we'll see. Squad number 9, LDI, seem to be wanting to look at a potential rotation here. Get out of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So UW getting into it here with EOL. This could have important implications for the overall standings here. EOL currently in 4th place. They'll need some good kill points, and they've already got 2. They're going to need good placement as well.
And the guys from EOL coming under a lot of pressure here. They've already had 2 taken out. We're here with Zippers. He's going to get into the top of the stairs, but he has now been taken out as well. So Metalis, who is leading for MVP at this moment in time, this is exactly the start he did not want.
On 2. No, so he's on 10 kills at the moment. Sorry, 10 overall kills. He's now got 2. The team have only got 2 kills as well. Now they're currently in 4th. They needed a really good show here to actually break into that top 3.
But squad number 7 crashing into this, and that has certainly helped Mentalis out. Squad number 7 coming for a push here, and that has really put a spanner in the works of what UL's plans were. Potentially they should have cleared that one up a bit more aggressively. Yeah. But that has certainly... Oh, and Mentalis taken out from 7. 7 have did a 2-2 split there. 2 in the town, caused chaos. 2 at the high ground, and have taken out some of our potential winners there. So they're not going to be happy with that. Now here we are with UW. They're getting into it with these 2 guys from squad number 7. And you have to say the 2-2 split might have helped them in the initial part of this gunfight, but it's certainly not helping them now.
No, 2, 3 players knocked now. Really under pressure here. So they spoiled UW's fun, but UW are getting their revenge there. They're slowly working their way through.
And UW
taken down now.
Yep, UW have taken out squad 7, so that is 7 kills for the guys. That's exactly the kind of start they wanted, and more importantly, they've got all 4 members of their squad up. That's great work from these guys. They need a move up, and that's exactly what they've done there.
Yeah, so UW and LDI are the only 2 teams that had a chance of breaking into that top 4 and therefore getting into the top 3. Both of them still going, but UW there racking up some kills early on.
And look who was potentially hanging around on the edges. Look at the third party. This one, it's our friends from S2.
Archie there putting the hurt there on the player from Team 6.
UW
some rounds in return.
Putting the rounds back in, so little bit too far away for the aggressive push. Potentially came into that fight a little bit too late. They'd have certainly enjoyed throwing themselves into that one, I imagine, the guys from S2.
Yeah, I mean, what they could do here, they've got all 4 players up on the high ground, so they can get some shots in from distance. What they need is someone to rotate to an angle so they can start to think about the push. The trouble is, it's very open ground.
There's absolutely nothing for them.
Team 7. No, we saw Team 7 rotate into the small compound in the open ground there, and that worked for them. But in the end, they came undone with that split. So it's all going to have to be some distance work, I'd say.
Yeah, and that can also present its own problems because, of course, this amount of gunfight draws the attention of others who might want a third party this, and they haven't got their flanks secured here up on this high ground S2. So it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to approach this one.
Absolutely. Will they stick with the long-range work, or are they going to go and actually crash the compound and go for a push? We know how aggressive they are.
There we go. We've got a knock. Although I think... Actually getting into it with Why Not, this is the problem. And they've decided they're going to push very aggressively on Why Not, and that would actually be very important for S2.
Absolutely. Coming under fire here from Striker. So this is second and third place in the overall.
Blows the car there, but he's taking some rounds, and that is getting very, very tasty over there.
Yeah. So S2 Kowalski's been taken with the explosion. Now this has real ramifications for the overall leaderboard here, because S2 and Why Not are second and third. And also you've got Furia from S2 who leads in the kill count, and Kowalski's currently in fourth.
Yeah, well, S2 Furia, the only one up at this moment in time, trying to get the res on the Kowalski. Now he's managed to achieve that.
Some lovely shimmy work there to get to S2 silence.
So Furia doing a great job getting the rest of his team up here. It's exactly what these guys need him to do.
Getting the revive, letting them heal.
Unfortunately,
that's the other player.
This whole aggressive series of play for Why Not has cost them somewhat. They are 2 players down now.
So Fury are doing a great job reviving his teammates who are now healing, getting themselves back up to health, and then putting back some shots. Kowalski now has been knocked again with the Car 98. So some great work coming in from the Why Not guys. There's only 2 of them left, but they're making sure S2 aren't going to have it all the right way. Fury are taking damage there as he tries to get in for the revive.
He's poked that gap a few times now. I wouldn't recommend doing it a third time.
No, they know exactly where the fire's coming from now.
Well, they smoked up, so he got away with it.
Yep, so putting some rounds into the smoke. Very risky move there.
Very.
Violence is separated slightly, got a different angle.
They have to say, these 2 players from Why Not certainly making their presence known.
Yep.
S2.
You can see why the team are third overall with some excellent play there, some good aggressive play.
S2 doing what good teams need to do to win these kind of championships. When they come under pressure, they've got the discipline to get their members up. But, this is very open now, and these guys are getting third-partied.
Yeah, Team 18 coming in from the hillside here. Now, Why Not? They're putting some great damage in, but they haven't managed to confirm any kills. So, yeah, this could have a big effect on the overall leaderboard here.
So that's somewhat of a reprieve for the guys from S2 there. But they handled it well, you have to say.
Absolutely. Now we're down to 9 teams already in phase 2 of the game.
Yeah, 32 players left alive, and these guys are already getting ready for their next fun fight. They're into it now with squad number 5, QL. And this would be very, very important for S2. If they get a knock on one of these guys, they're going to know exactly who it is they're fighting.
Yeah. QL, the current leaders, of course. 5 points ahead of S2, and Why Not? So this could decide the overall leaderboard. Rotating around, looking to get a different angle here. Protecting the vehicles up on the hillside. So S2 up on the hillside, they don't have hard cover, but the downside of having hard cover is it can not only give you protection, it can also trap you slightly. So these guys are here, but they can't really move without exposing themselves. Whereas S2 up on the hillside are just using the natural cover. They got more freedom to move.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's lots going on, but I think we're going to have to stay with covering the QL S2 fight here, because this is ultimately may well be very decisive for who wins this championship.
Absolutely. So you've got the top 3 here, Quantum Leap, S2 Gaming and Why Not, all involved in close quarters here. S2 and Quantum Leap at it at the moment.
So S2 going for a split.
With Team 6, with why not down there? The two of, UW, down in that compound means they can't go all the way round that side. So they're going to have to work from the front on the hillside and where Silence is now. They're going to have to work just on the two flanks, the two positions.
So 3 of the teams who are contesting the top 5 places at this moment in time, all within sights of each other.
And we've got Team 11 just coming in to join this fight as well, by the looks of it. Just rotating in from behind the camera.
And that looks like new up from UW. Got a nasty thump there. Managed to get some meds in, however. And
currently 8th on the MVP leaderboard. And
just behind my camera location, that's exactly where Team Big are, squad number 11.
Yep, so the team from our hosts, Team Big, coming in. They're in the woods just underneath the camera. So they'll see the vehicles even if they can't see the players, so they'll know who's around.
Okay, so rounds are starting to go in. Yep, that's Big trying to rotate through the vehicles, and that might be very expensive. However, that has drawn out Furia was drawn out by that one. Everybody started firing at the vehicle, and of course that means that people start revealing their situation, and Furia was not.
Yeah, Furia, who's currently one of the joint leaders on the MVP, and he's been thirsted as well, so he's not going to get any more kills now.
So Silence here, living up to his name, trying to approach these guys from squad number 5.
See if you can see. There we go. So he'll be able to feed information back to his teammates. Having dealt with Team 11 with that rotation, they can now concentrate once again on QL. QL there with all 4 members still up.
Yeah, it's pretty tense stuff here. I think I mean, to be honest with you guys, I know there's probably things going on the rest of the map, but this is such an important fight. I think we're going to have to stay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say I agree. We're in phase 3 now. I mean, because we're a couple of teams down and that early action, we're down to 8 teams. Kowalski's taken down, knocked by QL.
There is our situation. So everyone's in zone nice and early. People have picked their compounds. And okay, guys from QL out of the building. What are these guys looking to do?
Now he's going to have a surprise in a moment when he comes round. I wonder if they know that Silence is there. Yep, getting the nade ready. He knows there's someone close. I don't know if they heard Silence there, just moving around, just laying down. You can hear them, but only just. So they know someone rotated round this side, but they don't know exactly where the player is.
And Silence jumps up at exactly the right time, gets the knock, gets the thirst.
And now moving away so they don't nade his location. Oh, that is a jump down there from the balcony. That is a risky move. Player from QL there.
Okay, so Silence has got a peek at a player on his right, and that player has in fact been knocked. So this might be an opportunity for S2 here.
Yeah. So the cover from the hillside doing its job perfectly there. So Silence drawing them out. But they manages to get into the hard cover so they can get the revive on. So Silence here doing great work, drawing them out away from the safety of the building so that the teammates can actually come in and get the knock. Molly coming into the top window.
This is interesting work. This is fantastic work from the guys from S2 here. Very well thought out. Silence now in the building.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 2 in the building and going for the push here.
Yeah, jump out of the building there and And that was a great push from the guys from S2. And that is a very important squad wipe for these guys. 7 kills now. They're out of zone, phase 4 of the game, but such an important scalp for these guys to take. You know that these guys knew that they had to win that fight.
Absolutely, so they've won the fight. It doesn't only give them kill points, but it means that Quantum Leap, who are our current leaders, aren't going to get any more points. So it puts S2 here in the driving seat for the overall leaderboard.
So why not?
Why not?
Why not are still in the game now? Well, obviously, we lost a little bit there. I can't see EOL anywhere, Jamie. So EOL are out.
EOL we saw get taken down in the compound. These guys were just fighting over earlier. So actually, we've got Why Not. I think one of their players has been knocked, or at least, or maybe even taken out.
So Why Not here? Yeah, GR is taken out. We're here with Striker, and this is another important fight. Don't.
And I think it's just a momentary freeze, but it looks like we've got the Molly coming in. I think that might have taken out Why Not. Certainly we had GR who was already knocked. Striker was trying to get the revive, but the Molly came in, so Striker had to make a move. He had to leave reviving his teammate so that he could put some defensive fire down. But I think the Molly might have done its work.
Come on, no, not now, not in the final game. Come on. Come on.
Unfortunately, anyone who's ever worked with an emulator on PUBG knows that of late there's been a lot of emulator issues, a lot of freeze issues. But hopefully, like all the others, it will resolve itself quickly. There we go. We get some movement, and we're back, I believe. Now, I think, yep. So it looks like UW have taken down Why Not. So Why Not coming in 7th place then. And you have to say, I think that means for the leaderboard, S2 Gaming are taking the pole position here. We'll have to see what happens later in the game. We'll get that confirmed. But certainly with the kills they've got. Now, Furia was taken down for the individual MVP. So we've got a couple of areas to watch out for here. But S2 Gaming are carrying on the excellent work from games 1 and 2. Game 3, clearly just a bit of a blip.
So Kowalski putting in more nades. Already established a knock.
Absolutely raining the nades down here onto Team 18.
Yeah, a couple more knocks established there by Kowalski. These guys need these kills. They want them.
Not giving them a moment to breathe here.
Switches out his gun. And that's going to hurt.
Shot.
And Kowalski thirsted out. So we have 2 guys left from S2 Gaming.
LGI Lisa, they're trying to third party from up on top of the hill, but taking fire here from Hitachi.
And that's Lisa taken out. So that's 9 kills now for the guys from SD, but they're fighting the rest of this game as a duo. It's all about placement and kills for these guys.
So Team 18 here, they came under a lot of pressure. They got a couple of players taken out, but they are now currently centre zone. These guys edge of zone, but they're holding PDX Supreme here, making sure he can't get into zone. I think that might be taken out now. No, he manages to get a heal on.
So we're down to 13 players left alive. 5 teams still contesting the final game of the finals for Team Big's inaugural launch scrims. And I have to say, this is hugely exciting stuff coming in. It's going to be. We're all going to be waiting to see what these final scores are.
United Warriors doing themselves a great favour. They've got 4 players still in. They've got a few team kills here. They're into the final stages of the match as well. So they were the only ones. Them and LDI were the only ones that had a chance of breaking into this top 3. And with a couple of other teams being taken out early, they might be able to do that. We'll have to see what their kill count's like. But yeah, 5 teams, 13 players.
And the zone's starting to hurt now. So our friends from SD, they're managing to maintain their position edge of circle. Now we have squad number 18, BM. They're holding position centre circle. Our friends from UW have still got players well out on the edge of circle, and they're involved in a gunfight. So
They've just knocked Silence from S2. And we see Team 8 coming in with a late rotation, using the vehicles.
Right, Hitachi up against it here. He's got his teammate knocked. He's got a lot of people in front of him. The zone at his back. And I don't think he's going to be able to get his teammate. And that zone rotation for S2 was absolutely brutal. He's never going to be able to get his teammate up there, I don't think.
No,
well, you never know.
He's there in the smoke. He might be able to.
He's going to go for it. Great team play there. He's got a little bit of cover here, so he might manage it. But then these guys have so got to move. They've really got to move. Everybody else has established position. Edge of zone. UW still very much in contention at this point.
Yep, they're up on the high ground. They've got all 4 players, and 3 of the 4 are in zone, and they can then control the zone. Hitachi there got the vehicle, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get to it safely.
I don't know if he's going to be using that, actually. Well, we'll see. Sometimes it's going to draw too much fire coming into the zone, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, if they had more, if they had the whole team, they can send one in as a sacrifice to draw other players out. But I don't think as a duo they're going to risk doing that. I think there's going to. Oh, we'll see.
And the fire coming thick and fast here.
UW Commando taking down Silence, I think it was, from S2 Gaming. Yep, and getting the confirm on Silence.
So
UW
Hitachi, the last surviving member of S2. UW still very much contention. We're going to quickly check these guys out. They've got a good location here.
Yeah, so some of these players were in contention for the overall individual MVP. So they're doing themselves a good chance to getting it.
And Noah doing some great work, whacking in the rounds to Vortex there. And you have to say, it looks like Hitachi from S2 having a huge amount of difficulty just trying to make it into this zone, and he's not going to be able to survive out there for too much longer, I don't think.
What a nade there from Noor.
Beautiful nade, establishes the knocks.
Yeah, in 2 knocks with 1 nade.
In comes another one. 12 kills the guys from UW have established so far.
Well, we said they have to go for it. They have to go for the kills and the placement, and they're certainly doing that. Noor in contention for the MVP. He's going for the individual one as well. So we're down to our top 3.
And you have to say, they are controlling this area that they have beautifully. The guys from UW here. Noor needs to make sure he confirms the kills on these guys from Vortex. They've got to be in a very bad condition. He's got to get some more damage in.
Yep. And the Molly comes in and knocks one of the players there. So we're down to our final 2 teams here. UW against Vortex.
Yeah, it looks like UW have taken it. That is fantastic work from UW there. Incredible play throughout that entire game. And that's final zone control. Absolutely stunning. Really very much enjoyed that one. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to... Yeah, unfortunately, somebody's having a good celebratory fight. Well, they deserve it. It's just a bit uncomfortable in the ears. Okay, we're going to go through this very quickly. In first place, UW. They pick up a very impressive 17 kills. I think that's our biggest individual team kill count for the night. Yep. In third place, we have Vortex with 3. Second place, sorry. In third place, we have BM. Only the 1 kill for these guys. S2, they come in 4th place. These guys pick up 10 kills. So not a bad result at all, but we'll see whether or not that is going to feature. Just looking at, well, I'm sure we'll have the results very soon. Jamie and I could do a bit of post-match. They'll be getting the results out very, very quickly, I have to say, coming into this one. I'm just going to get off that. They'll be putting out the results very, very quickly. So Jamie and I are going to stay live. Hopefully we'll be able to announce the winners for you when these results come in. We can take a very, very, very short break, and we will be back with you very soon indeed. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. We're just going to keep an eye on the Discord chat here because I have to say the boys and girls at Team Big have been absolutely fantastic getting these results out quickly. So hopefully we will actually be able to announce the winners live on the live stream. Something that we very much like to do, but we're still waiting on the results from that. Obviously, they do take a little bit of time to collate. So Jamie, we wanted an exciting 4 games. We got an exciting 4 games. And my word, some of those gunfights amongst the teams contesting for the top of this event really were very, very interesting to watch, but may in fact prove decisive to the overall result.
Absolutely. And it didn't disappoint. All 4 games had their brilliant moment. And as we've seen, and we saw in the qualifying in the Lobby A that we covered on Thursday, Erangel came up with the goods at the finish. We had a crazy finish, a real busy finish on Thursday, and we had a crazy, brilliant finish tonight as well. What a brilliant... the control in the final zone by UW. They controlled the zone. They had the high ground. They had the numbers. But brilliant gunfighting as well. The nades, the mollies, everything.
Yeah, it was something special to watch that, I have to say. Some great play from S2, especially when they were pushing in on QL, ultimately taking QL out of the game. That might prove very, very important. But ultimately going forward, they just couldn't get the break on the zones there, could they? And as they came in, I don't think anybody was going to break the stranglehold that UW had established on that circle. They controlled that immensely well.
Absolutely, they really did control. They had the high ground, to say they had the high ground and numbers, but they didn't just make that count. They actually put the hurt in. They put the rounds in. They put the nades, the mollies. They made sure they hurt anyone who tried to come near them.
Yep. So we are going to stay. If we can, guys, boys and girls, we're going to try and stay live, just because we'd like to announce the winners on the stream. But before we do that, it is important to say thank you to the guys from Team Big for putting together such a well thought out, well planned, well executed, fantastic event. I think anybody who's played it would agree. It's been really exciting stuff. The guys from Team Big doing a wonderful job. Also, their sponsors from Red Bull doing a wonderful job providing a few prizes, which I'm sure you lot enjoyed contesting for. They really have done some great stuff, Team Big. Wonderful launch event. If this is how their events are going to be, I look forward to covering more of them in the future. I mean, this has just been a great couple of events to cover, Jamie.
It's been brilliant. We've seen some brilliant play, some brilliant scrim play, which, as you know, it can be tactical, it can be strategic, working your way around maps, going in for the rotations. But ultimately, and what we both love, and I will admit it, is watching the fantastic individual gunplay from these players.
Hey, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. What are you starting to understand that maybe the up close and personal gunfights might actually be important in PUBG, Jamie?
They are definitely important, but you still need someone who's held back just to cover from the hill, just to make sure. But when it comes down to it, it's all about the kills.
But I always appreciated you back then, mate. Especially if you were recording the game, because basically then I always had really great kill footage of when I got killed by running into a building whilst I was on fire. So yeah. I don't know how long we're going to be for the results here, boys and girls. We will. To be fair, they have been absolutely tip top in getting these guys getting the results out quickly. It would be nice if we could announce the winners whilst we were on the live stream. So we are going to hang around.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, it's taken slightly longer. I mean, it's the final game and the overall leaderboard.
They absolutely need to get it right. So, but it would be nice if we could announce it. So you're going to have to put up with me and Jamie for just a few minutes longer. So hopefully we'll be able to announce that very, very shortly. It's going to be a difficult one, this, Jabby, but I'm going to put you on the spot because I'm just, that kind of guy. Pick your moment of the night, mate.
I have to. This is an absolute cop out, but you know what? I just can't because all of the fights we've seen, whether it's an offensive move or a defensive hold of a compound, have been brilliant. We haven't seen any potato moments. Everyone has played really, really well. And I'm going to cop out and say, for once, I can't call it. I can't give you an individual moment.
I'd agree with that. I think it's going to be very difficult to single out any individual moment or player. Certainly, I felt not necessarily because we all love it if the one surviving member on the team gets a squad wipe or something of that nature. But certainly, the moment in the game for me, game 4, certainly that may well prove incredibly decisive is that move. Just shouted out so many names this evening. I've forgotten the name of the player who approached the compound to basically
Silence.
overlook QA. Yeah, Silence, living up to his name there. Okay, boys and girls, we do have the results. So I'm going to read them out to you. In first place, we'll do it in reverse order, shall we? In third place, we have Quantum Leap. They picked up 1 win, 20 kill points, 64 points in total. In second place, we have UW Esports. They pick up 1 chicken dinner and 20 kills. 37 kills and 69 placement points. And we thought it might be decisive, and in the end, it really was, boys and girls. Our winners for this evening, S2 Gaming, 38 kill points, 71 points in total. They won it by 2 points. That push on QL in game number 4 proving absolutely decisive. And my word, there wasn't a lot to separate these boys and girls in 1, 2, and 3 here. But interestingly, S2 Gaming, the only ones in the top 5 who did not pick up a chicken dinner. But my word, were they consistent? Were they consistent indeed throughout the entirety of the games this evening? And I think overall, Jamie, I think I'd be happy with that as a result. I think S2 Gaming consistently the best performance tonight.
Absolutely, and it's brilliant because they were consistent. They had a blip in game 3, but every other game we saw they were going in with the high kill count. They were getting the high position points as well. Even if they didn't get the chicken dinner. United Warriors there, they came in from, I think, 5th or 6th. They were to start with as they went into the final game, and they got the kills, they got the placement points, couldn't quite do it. Quantum Leap did really well. Why not? Empire of Lithuania, though, they were 4th going into the final game, and they were taken out early, and that was decisive. But S2 Gaming, as you say, the consistency, the high kill count, and there we go. They didn't get the chicken dinner, but 38 kills.
If you bear with me, boys and girls, I'm just going to see if I can load up the final table for you. Hopefully.
And we're also just waiting on the results for the individual, for the MVP.
Absolutely. So I'm going to try and load up this final table for you so you can see this at the end of the stream. Should only take me a few minutes, even though I am, increasingly old and infirm. But generally speaking, I managed to do this sort of stuff so far. Not a word from you, pal. Not a word.
Nope.
Right, we're gonna have a go at. Let me see if I can change this. Yeah. For some reason it doesn't like that. And yeah, that's actually caused a problem now. See, this is the problem when you try to get too technical, Rhymes. This is your problem, mate.
Have you done broken the internet? Have you?
I think what I've actually... Well, it doesn't want to upload that image and now it won't come off this screen, which is very, very annoying.
Okay.
Right. Not particularly satisfactory. Yeah, this is now completely just crashed everything. And yeah, can't even cancel it. This is very, very bad. Come on, get out of this. Yeah, I know there's an error. Thank you for that. Cheers. You know what? It's not gonna play with that, which is a great shame. I can't upload that one for you. Anyway, boys and girls, look. Thank you all so much for playing magnificently. We've really enjoyed covering this event for you. I know I've enjoyed it immensely. I know I've made some friends over at the guys with Team Big. Great bunch of boys and girls. And we hope to be covering some scrims again for you in the future. Thank you to the guys at Team Big. Thank you to their sponsors, Red Bull. Most importantly, thank you to my good buddy and the guy that always makes me look good is DH Jammy. Thank you, mate. Enjoyed that one.
I am here to make you look good, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've covered some brilliant games, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one with these guys as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Love playing with these guys, and yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll. You guys want a streamer for a big event that you're putting on? Give us a call. We'll be there. We've really enjoyed this one. Been absolutely fantastic. Thank you to all the people who watched the stream and who were in the live chat. We really do appreciate that stuff. This has just been a fantastic couple of events, and feel really pleased to have been able to cover it. Anyway, boys and girls. That brings us to the end of our live stream. Congratulations to S2 Gaming, well-deserved winners of the Team Big final scrims there. Well done, boys and girls. Big pats on the back. GG's. Fantastic play. A great pleasure to watch. From DH Jammy and myself, Vimes177 Gaming. As always, good hunting and bye for now.